In this gentle moment, let us pause to breathe, inhaling the richness of the air that surrounds us. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, or the gentle coolness of a breeze that caresses your face. The world is alive. Everything is interconnected. Each sensation a thread woven into the fabric of now. In this space of stillness, let us allow thoughts to come and go like clouds drifting in a vast sky. There is nothing to do but listen to the unfolding of today, to embody the present with every breath we take. It was an afternoon like any other in the small, sunlit kitchen. The rhythmic sound of dripping water echoed, mingling with the faint chatter of birds outside the window, where daisies danced in the breeze. Emilie stood by the sink, arms submerged in warm, soapy water, watching as bubbles bubbled tiny worlds of shimmering reflection containing the light of the sun's golden rays. She let the water flow over her hands, quietly noting the sensation of warmth, the slip of the dishes as they moved between her grasp. Today, she chose to wash the dishes mindfully, a practice she had discovered recently. Each plate, each cup, a canvas for her presence. It's an opportunity to anchor herself in the moment as she lifted a ceramic mug, cool and heavy with the residue of yesterday's coffee. She felt the contours of its handle against her fingertips. Mug was chipped, its wear speaking of shared moments with friends. Each scar a memory, every imperfection a testament to life lived. She closed her eyes for just a heartbeat, letting that gentle touch take her back to laughter and stories shared over steaming cups. The aroma of roasted beans lingered, a soft reminder of warmth and connection. She began to scrub, her movements slow and deliberate. The sound of brushes squeaked against glazed surfaces, mingling with the ambient sounds of the homed ticking clock in the corner. A distant car horn blaring, the soft rustle of fabric as her cat settled onto a sun-warmed spot on the kitchen floor. Crucially, she tuned into the beat of her own breath, steady and calming, a heartbeat in the symphony of life around her. With each plate, she washed and rinsed. Emilie observed not just the physical act, but the exchange of sensations, the warmth of the water against her skin, the gentle grip of the dishcloth, the fragrant sweetness of liquid soap. Time slipped away, and it was only this here, now, swirling rivers of foam and the shining promise of cleanliness. Like a heightened awareness of the beauty found in the simplicity of task, as she transitioned from plate to fork, she noticed a twinge of thought worries about tomorrow. Tasks left undone, but instead of clinging to them, she recognized them as ephemeral clouds in the vast sky of her mind. She brushed them away, returning to each movement, feeling her feet anchored to the cool tile beneath her, her breath flowing in with the tide of the world outside. Conscious of her thoughts, she allowed them to come and go, observing them as if they were leaves drifting down a gentle stream. There was no need to judge them or push them away. They simply were. She acknowledged their presence, floating on the surface of her awareness, while the water continued to whisper a soft lullaby against the sides of the sink. In this state, her mind danced lightly, flitting between moments of the past and possibilities of the future, yet she anchored herself in the warm embrace of now. There was resonance in the simple act of washing those dishes, as if each plate peeled away layers of distraction, focusing her essence on the here and now. As she finished the final dish, a heavy skillet laden with yesterday's sautéing, it was as if she could hear the satisfaction in the water. Each swish of the cloth became a note in a tranquil melody, a celebration of what she had completed and the clarity that came with such focus. Here was the beauty, to take what had been, to transform it into something bright and fresh, sparkling. In the late afternoon light, she rinsed her hands under the cool, clear water, feeling every droplet cascade off her fingers like tiny jewels scattering across the floor. The sensation was a whisper of gratitude, a gentle reminder of the abundance in her life, the water, the dishes, the sun, the air. the quiet space to simply be. Emilie stepped back, surveying her handiwork. The kitchen was radiant, now under the soft light, the dishes gleaming in a quiet acknowledgement of their journey from dirty to clean. She took a deep, nourishing breath, inhaling the scent of soap, mingling with the air infused with earth's warmth. It was a reminder that in the simple act of washing dishes, she had found a moment of pure presence. A brief stillness in the midst of life's chaos. And so, in this sacred space, with a heart full of gratitude and a mind gently settled, Emilie understood. The true beauty of life often resides in the mundane, in the soft whisper of water, in the quiet companionship of the everyday. As she emerged from her meditative dishwashing, she carried with her a sense of peace, an inner stillness that flowed through her, carrying the warmth of presence into the vastness of her day. She knew that moments like these, when embraced with fullness and love, are the threads that weave a life well lived, one mindful breath at a time. In this moment, take a breath with me. Feel the cool air entering your lungs, expanding your chest, and then gently leaving as you exhale. Allow your thoughts to soften, like clouds drifting lazily across the sky. Allow it to be enough. This very moment, this gentle pause where life unfolds. Imagine a rhythm in your body, the pulsing of life beneath your skin, and let your awareness settle into the experiences that surround you, subtly listening to the symphony of existence. In a sun-kissed kitchen where time seems to slow down, there exists a porcelain white sink, its basin like a quiet pool, welcoming an abundance of stories each day. The air carries a soft scent of soap, neither harsh nor overpowering, but rather a gentle reminder that the world is clean, and the simple act of washing is an invitation to presence as the water flows. I turn on the tap, and the sound of rushing water fills the space's soothing lullaby that beckons my attention. I watch as droplets cascade like clear crystals, dancing before they plunge into the stillness of the sink below. The water's warmth envelops my hands when I dip them in, a silky embrace that dissolves the boundaries of my awareness, bringing forth a sensation of comfort and ease. I glance around the kitchen, my mind weaving stories as I do so here. Half-peeled orange, its zest still clinging like memories not yet ready to let go. There are a stack of dishes, each plate telling a tale of meals shared, laughter echoing like soft bells around the table. With deliberation, I reach for the first dish, its surface cool against my fingertips. I lift the plate, noticing its weight a token of nourishment, a vessel of connection. Each movement, deliberate and unhurried, echoes the motion of stillness in my mind. As I scrub with a soft sponge, the gentle friction creates tiny bubbles that rise and dance, momentarily capturing light before bursting into delicate mists of nothingness. Here, within the rhythm of scrubbing, I become aware of the subtle tension in my shoulders. I pause, allowing the sponge to rest against the edge of the sink, the water continuing its quiet song. I take a breath, drawing in the scent of citrus and warmth. On the exhale, releasing not just a breath, but also any traces of impatience. It is a complex dance of sensation and thought, choreographed by presence itself. When I lift the next mug, a deep blue ceramic surface, I feel the coolness kissing my palm. There's comfort in the familiar. This mug has been with me through countless mornings. I can almost feel the stories steeped in its walls, the echoes of laughter mingling with sips of tea. Every quiet moment of solitude softened by its presence. Each stroke of the sponge reveals something new. I discovered the small imperfections that make the mug unique, a gentle reminder that beauty often resides in the imperfect and the unrefined. The way the water catches the light reflects my own journey, a constant flow, shifting and changing, yet always present. Let go of the narrative that rushes forward, inviting instead a gentle curiosity. The mug is simply a mug, and these moments each One a treasure, as I find my own reflection in the water, swirling down the trainer's fleeting visage, passing through the mundane thoughts, flutter by like butterflies, each one capturing a fragment of experience. I acknowledge them, soft and light, allowing them to drift away without clinging. There's no need to grasp, only to be here. In this space, the gentle slosh of water against pottery sings its meditative tune, a reminder to drown out the noise of the world, to retreat into the simplicity of now. The sunlight, streaming through the window, casts playful shadows on the counter, resonating with the quiet joy that accompanies this daily ritual. I breathe in the lightness of being, the solace found in the ordinary dot. As I rinse each dish, the cool water cascades over my fingertips, washing away not just remnants of the day's meals, but also the weight of my own relentless thoughts. I surrender to the task, moving deliberately, mindfully, aware of the play of sensation, cold, warm, slippery, soothing. Every feeling grounds me deeper into the moment. It is more than just a chore. It emerges as a meditation to let go fully, letting the moment be what it is, bracing the flow, unearthing the joy in acts we so often take for granted. The bubbles expand, shimmer, and burst, reminding me, too, that life is fleeting, ephemeral, a collection of moments to be treasured, and soon I am surrounded by a forest of clean dishware, rising like a small mountain of triumph, a visual testament to presence. I stand tall amidst these plates and mugs, my heart swelling with gratitude for the nourishment they represented, for what they still would share, the moments yet to come. The sun begins its descent, slanting sideways through the window, catching dust motes in mid-flight, and for a moment, I become aware of the stillness settling around me, a gentle pause in the symphony of the day, a reminder that every beginning requires an end, and every end a new beginning, with a final rag. I dry my hands thoroughly, relishing the texture of the cloth, each fiber wrapping around my fingers like a calming embrace. I catch a glimpse of my reflection again, smiling softly at the simplicity of it all. Washing the dishes, I am reminded of the dance of life, fluid, hurried, filled with everyday moments that hold within them the entirety of our existence. In this stillness, we find a deeper rhythm, the unending pulse of presence that transforms each ordinary act into a sacred thread woven into the tapestry of life. As you stand here in the quiet aftermath, consider the power of your own breath, the sensation of your hands resting softly on your lap, untouched by the rush of time. Know that within every moment lies the gift of peace, waiting for your awareness to bloom. Carry this simplicity with you, an anchor against the tide of life, as you step gently into the now. Imagine yourself in a tranquil space where time seems to slow and the world outside gently fades into the backdrop. Take a deep breath, feeling your chest rise and fall like a soft wave on the shore. Let go of the day's demands, the cluttered thoughts, and the endless to-do lists. For now, allow yourself to simply be fully present in this moment. Inhale the quiet tension of stillness and exhale the weight of yesterday. You are here in this moment, ready to explore the serenity that exists in the mundane. The rain begins as a whisper, a delicate patter on the window pane that gradually evolves into a gentle chorus, each drop a note in a symphony. The world outside vibrates with the freshness that only a rainy afternoon can bring. You sit by the kitchen window. The light shifts. Soft shadows dance across the room, painted by the muted grays outside. The air feels different. It is cooler, charged with the scent of damp earth and the promise of renewal. You close your eyes for a moment, tuning into the rhythm of rain. It feels as if the universe has pressed pause, inviting you to slow down. The steady beat against the glass draws you deeper into yourself, where thoughts drift like leaves caught in a stream. A smile curls your lips as you recall the soft, warm blanket draped over your lap, the gentle weight comforting you as you sink deeper into this moment. You rise, curiosity guiding your feet to the kitchen sink. The dishes await you, a tidy pile of porcelain and glass, each with its own story embedded in the remnants of meals shared. You filled the basin with warm water, the steam curling upwards, mingling with the earthy scent of rain. You dip your hands in, feeling the warmth cradle your fingers, inviting you to engage as you pick up the first dish. The coolness of ceramic contrasts with the warmth of the water. You begin to wash. The sounds of the room envelop you, the gentle splash of water, the rhythmic clink of plates, and the soft sigh of the rain against the roof. Each sound, a note contributing to the symphony of this moment, invites you to listen deeply. You notice how the bubbles swirl around the edges of the plate, glistening like tiny orbs of light. Mindfully, you focus on the sensation of the dish in your hands. There's something transformational about the act of washing, cleaning away remnants of life to prepare for new experiences. With each stroke of your sponge, you allow the water to wash away not only the food particles, but any lingering thoughts. As the soap glides across the surface, you feel a softening within yourself, a release of the day's tension. You allow your awareness to expand, noticing the rhythm of your breath. Inhale, a gentle filling. Exhale, a releasing softness. Time loses its meaning here, the outside world blurring into the background, and what remains is this simple act of dishwashing. As you rise and dip, you surrender to the flow of the moment, continuously returning to the sensations, the warmth of the water, the cool slickness of the plates, the gentle friction of the sponge. As you work, the rain intensifies, transforming into a gentle drumming on the roof. Each patter feels like a reminder to be here now. The steady sound seems to echo your movements. You find yourself lost in the mundane beauty of it, the creaking floor beneath your feet, the scent of lavender from the dish soap, the way the light filters through the window, casting glimmers on the soapy surface. With each item you lift from the basin, you'll begin to notice not just the objects, but the life they have witnessed, the gatherings, the laughter, the warmth of love shared over meals. There is a story tied to every piece, and it fills you with warmth as you let it all settle in. This simple, repetitive task becomes an intimate conversation between you and the moments held in the glass and porcelain. As you rinse the last plate, you pause. For a brief instant, the world holds its breath with you. In this waiting space, you notice the stillness beneath the gentle chaos of the rain. There's a knowing that everything you need is right here. In this essence of being, you finish your task. Placing the final dish on the drying rack, droplets of water catching the light like diamonds. The kitchen is alive with the fragrance of fresh rain and the lingering scent of soap. You take a moment to admire your efforts, simple journey transformed through mindful presence into an act of gratitude. As you wipe your hands on a towel, you find yourself seated again by the window, a gentle smile gracing your face. The rain still dances, echoing in the distance, but something has shifted within you. A sense of settling down has embraced your heart, grounding you in the beauty of each moment, the gift of being. The world continues outside, but here, there is a stillness that is uniquely your own. The cycles of washing and rinsing, listening and breathing, have intertwined like threads in a tapestry, creating a vivid picture of life unfolding right before you. As the rain tapers off, you carry with you the whispers of presence and the soft reminder that within the ordinary, there lies extraordinary grace. You are precisely where you need to be in this refuge of stillness, where the magic of the moment resides, waiting patiently for you to embrace it, one gentle breath at a time. In the simple act of washing dishes, you have awakened to the symphony of life and the profound peace that flows from being fully here. In this moment, let yourself find a quiet space. Breathe in softly through your nose and exhale gently through your mouth. Feel the warmth of your breath, a calming wind brushing against the still waters of your mind. Picture yourself surrounded by a gentle stillness, as if the world has slowed down just for you. Here you are, a tender observer of your own existence, fully allowing yourself to unfold into the present moment. Let the rhythm of your breath anchor you as we enter a story steeped in the simple act of being. It was the kind of morning that draped itself in a soft gray blanket, the sky murmuring with a promise of rain. In the small kitchen, a window overlooked the whispering trees, their leaves trembling slightly in the cool air, an invitation to pause, to listen, to be aware. The kettle began to hum a low, comforting tune, matched by the occasional chirp of a distant robin. As the kettle reached its boiling point, Jane felt herself drawn to the chore that lay before her. The dishes, piled high in the sink, gleamed under the weak morning light. Each plate and cup holding the trace of last night's meal, in intermingling of laughter and stories now set in ceramic and glaze. Clarity washed over her. Perhaps this could be a gentle meditation, a sanctuary in the everyday, with a mindful step. She approached the sink, the cool towel grounding her feet, and a sea of dishes awaited her touch. She turned on the warm water, watching it cascade down in a gentle waterfall, steam rising like a soft breath into the cooler air of the kitchen. The first dish, a stubborn bowl, slipped into her soapy hands, a soft cloud of bubbles beginning to erupt around it. She felt the warmth of the water envelope her fingers, its buoyancy inviting her senses to awaken. As she scrubbed, the faint sound of porcelain against porcelain echoed softly. The rhythm of the task settling into a quietness at meditation composed of tasks that danced lightly at her fingertips with every pass of the sponge. Jane noticed the scents around her. A hint of lavender from the dish soap blended with the earthy aroma of her freshly brewed tea. Her mind, typically a whirlpool of thoughts, began to soften. She witnessed the way her breath came and went, a gentle tide, harmonizing with the sound of the water. Occasionally, Jane would pause, letting the soapy water dribble away, gazing out of the window where the first drops of rain began to fall. Each drop was distinct, plopping softly against the earth, creating a symphony filled with clarity and resonance. She imagined each droplet carrying its own story, a moment unfolding, dissolving into the fabric of the world. As she moved through the routine, her mind wandered at times, pulling her into reflections about the day ahead. Yet, she gently coaxed her focus back to the glistening dish in her hands, the feelings of the sponge, the warmth of the water. The swirling bubbles all became anchors, guiding her runaway thoughts back home. The clattering of dishes gently resonated within her as she continued. And there was a moment where time seemed to elongate, each moment stretching into a stillness filled with grace. She released herself to the rhythm, allowing the mundane to become sacred. Every once in a while, Jane would glance out the window, watching the world transform under the rain's touch, the way the leaves drank in the water, gleaming, revitalized, as if acknowledging their sharing of life. Birds flitted about, seeking shelter, their calls mixing with the tapped pap of droplets upon the roof. And then, as she rinsed the last dish, a cracked mug with memories etched into its surface, she noticed something. It was an insight rising like a flower from the soil. The understanding that life, like her dishwashing, was an accumulation of moments. None were too grand to embrace, each deserving of presence and awareness. Here she was, committed to a simple act, and yet, in that act, she discovered the threads that wove beauty into the fabric of everyday life. The universe spiraled beautifully in the ordinary, reality's tender lessons revealing themselves in the most unassuming acts. As she placed the last dish upon the drying rack, each heartbeat a reminder that the present moment held infinite possibilities. She felt a quiet joy. She stood back, watching as droplets formed and ran down the glass, merging into one another. A symphony of connection played before her lips, a smile blooming within as she took a deep breath, savoring the lingering trace of soap and water, the echo of life flowing all around her. In this gentle stillness, Jane found herself. The ordinary became extraordinary as she allowed the world to unfold before her with each dish she washed. In these moments of simple mindfulness, she learned to reside in between the raindrops. Time, in its relentless pursuit, could be soft here, softened by the grace of awareness. And now, as the rain began to dance with brighter rhythms, she realized that every moment, no matter how small, holds the majesty of being alive. It is within this awareness that one can embrace the harmony of the everyday. It's an invitation for us all to awaken to each precious moment. As the sun begins its slow descent, painting the world in warm, golden hues, pause for a moment and breathe. Let the air fill your lungs, crisp and cool. Each inhale a gentle caress of life itself. Notice the soft rustling of leaves as they whisper secrets to the evening breeze. Allow your mind to settle like the sun slipping beneath the horizon, and be here now in this very moment. Your thoughts, like clouds, may drift in and out, but here, in this space of stillness, you are safe. Together, let us wander into the simplicity of an everyday experience, an invitation to be fully awake and aware. Imagine, if you will, that you are home after a long day. The echoes of the outside world fade as you step through the front door, greeted by the familiar sense of the place you love. There is a comforting warmth in the air, a gentle reminder that this is your sanctuary. You slip off your shoes, feeling the coolness of the wooden floor underfoot, grounding you, as if the earth beneath is welcoming you home. As the day begins to melt away, you notice a small stack of dishes waiting in the sink, remnants of meals shared and laughter exchanged. There is a sense of quiet in your kitchen, the soft hum of the refrigerator harmonizing with the distant chirping of crickets outside. Their song, a lullaby for the waning day. You walk towards the sink, allowing your mind to settle like the twilight. As you turn on the faucet, the water bursts forth, cascading like a gentle stream, sparkling in the fading light. Feel the warmth of the water flow over your hands, a soothing embrace. Close your eyes for a moment and listen to rhythmic drumming of droplets hitting the porcelain, a steady pulse, a heartbeat in the life cycle of your home. You pick up a dish, the cool ceramic smooth against your fingertips. The world outside fades further as you focus on this one thing. You begin to wash, the soap bubbling and frothing like clouds gathered before a storm. The scent of lemon and lavender fills your senses, fresh and invigorating, setting a serene backdrop for this small act of care. As you scrub the plate, imagine each stroke as a brush painting the canvas of your evening with presence, each bubble a tiny joy rising to the surface. As you rinse the plate under the stream of water, watch the soap suds drift away in the current, little boats finding their course downstream. Notice the way the water moves, how it flows and dances around the edges, carving out new shapes with each gentle caress. Allow your thoughts to flow like the water. Some will stick around for a while others will be carried away, unseen. In this moment, there is no urgency, no demand. There is only this dish in your hands and the pure, simple act of washing. You reach for another dish. This one, a bowl. Its surface bears the remnants of a meal, a smudge of sauce that tells a story of nourishment, of sustenance. With each scrub, consider the hands that prepared the food, the love that infused those moments of cooking and gathering, the warmth of connection, the joy of shared experience, all captured in this simple bowl. Revel in the myriad of memories, both past and present, that unfold with each swipe of your sponge. with each dish you wash. You carve out space for gratitude amidst the mundane. The glass mugs glimmer in the light as you clean them, translucent and delicate, like bubbles caught in the sun. The clinking of silverware as it joins the other sparkling pieces in the drying rack sounds like laughter echoing through the night air, a symphony welcoming the rising stars. As your hands continue their work, notice the temperature of the water, how it warms your touch, seeping into your skin like the sun warming earth in spring. Each drop that falls from your fingers brings you back to the present, grounding you further in this nurturing ritual. You can hear yourself breathe, each inhale a reminder of the gift of life flowing in and out of you like the water before you. Emotions may surface, anchored by the steady rhythm of the evening. Perhaps memories stir or smiles flickers as you remember laughter shared over these very dishes, or maybe a sense of weariness washes over you. The weight of the day lifting softly as you realize how nourishing this moment truly is. Allow the waves of emotions to rise and fall, just as night deepens and dawn awaits in the distance. You are here in this moment, amidst the ups and downs, comfort and the chaos. As you finish washing the last plate, take a moment to reflect. The sink, now empty, holds the space of transformation. Water flows freely, bubbles drift and vanish, returning to the earth. The clutter of the day contained within these dishes is now cleansed, their surfaces glistening with newness, like an opportunity waiting to be embraced. You turn off the faucet, and silence envelops you, a soft blanket of calm. As you stand there, feel the sensations linger, the texture of the sponge, the weight of the plates in your hands, the soft glow of the evening light that contrasts the deepening blue sky. These are the moments that are often overlooked, the small symphonies that play quietly in your life. Here and now is where you discover the beauty of presence, the tranquility found in the embrace of routine. Stepping back from the sink, survey the fruits of your labor, the dishes now neatly stacked, each one a testament to care and awareness. And as you turn to leave the kitchen, feel the weight lift as the sense of completion settles in. It is not merely about the act of washing. It is about being here for each moment, allowing yourself the grace of presence, and finding joy in the simplest of tasks. As you take your last gazes upon your now serene kitchen, a thought drifts in life, like the water ebbs and flows, carries us, reshapes us, and reveals the beauty of simply being. In this gentle reminder, recognize that even in ordinary moments, there lies extraordinary beauty, waiting patiently for you to notice. Embrace this evening's soft surrender, breathe deeply, and carry this stillness within you as you journey into the unfolding night. In this moment, let us take a gentle breath together. Inhale, feeling the air fill your lungs, and exhale, releasing any tension or distraction that may linger. Here, in this space, allow yourself to arrive fully, body and mind, as a warm evening light dances through the world outside, softening the edges of the day. Let your awareness drift inward as we embark on a journey of the senses, where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. And every detail speaks with a quiet clarity as the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows over the garden. A soft breeze carried with it the scent of blooming honeysuckle. Sarah stood at the kitchen sink, the familiar routine of washing dishes enveloping her like an old blanket, comforting and warm. In this moment, the clatter of plates, the splash of water, the gentle foam of soap, every sound woven together into a harmonious symphony of domestic life. Her hands submerged in sudsy warmth, Sarah became acutely aware of the sensations. The water, pleasantly warm, provided a tender embrace, contrasting with the cool air whispering through the open window. Each dish was a vessel of stories. The chipped mug had been a gift from a friend long ago, its well-worn handle familiar against her fingers. She rubbed the surface gently, feeling the texture. Every curve telling a tale of shared laughter over steaming cups of tea. A rhythmic dance unfolded as she reached for a glass. Surface smooth and cool. The sound of water cascading over the glass filled the kitchen, harmonizing with the distant hum of cicadas outside, marking time in their ancient way. Sarah allowed herself to notice how her breath synced with the ebb and flow of this simple act. Inhale as she dipped the sponge. Exhale as she rinsed. It was a dance unhurried, a meditation woven into the fabric of her evening as thoughts began to flit in and out, reminders of tasks yet undone. The laundry waiting, the dinner to prepare. She gently acknowledged them like autumn leaves drifting from the branches to the ground, letting go without clinging. This was not a time for judgment. It was a moment to simply be. Each distraction floated by, a brief visitor in the expansive landscape of her mind. There was beauty in the mundane, she mused, as she moved to the wooden cutting board. Its surface marked with the imprints of countless meals prepared with love. She breathed in again, this time deeper, allowing the rhythm of washing dishes to ground her, to root her in the present moment. The soap bubbles danced like tiny orbs of light, reflecting the kitchen's warmth, and she delighted in the way they popped, tiny fireworks vanishing in an instant. Sarah found joy in the fleeting nature of it all. Every now and then, she glanced outside, where the sky transformed into a canvas of deep oranges and purples. A bird perched on a nearby fence, the soft rustling of its feathers in the breeze adding another note to her evening symphony. She realized how intertwined her world was with these small spectacles, each moment precious. It's a thread in the tapestry of her life. When she reached for the frying pan that bore the marks of countless meals shared, a memory warmed her heart. She could see her daughter, then just a toddler, standing on a stool beside her, flour dusting their faces as they concocted a cake together. Falder had filled this very kitchen, an echo of joy lingering in the air, binding them both in that sweet moment. The pan felt heavier today, not because of its weight, but because of the memories it carried. Sarah rinsed and placed the pan aside, taking a moment to pause, letting her breath find its natural rhythm again. She felt her heart swell with gratitude, an unspoken acknowledgement that life was woven into the very fabric of her daily tasks. The bubbles were now fewer, but she was in no rush to finish. She allowed the stillness to seep in, settling comfortably within her. One dish at a time, she moved. Each cup became a ritual, each fork a reminder. She contemplated the very act of caring woven into these routines, the meal cooked, the table set, the shared moments. Here was her love, manifested in the ordinary, pouring herself into the seemingly mundane, covering depths previously unseen. Outside, the sun took its final bow, surrendering to the night. The chirping of crickets began their serenade, an orchestral accompaniment to her solitude. The kitchen, illuminated by soft overhead lights, transformed into a sanctuary, a space where thoughts unwound. Heartstrings softly resonated with the world outside. With the final plate washed and put away, Sarah wiped her hands on a clean, dry towel, feeling the fabric against her palms soft, comforting, and familiar. As she turned to the window, she watched as the deep blues of twilight enveloped the garden, and fireflies began to blink into existence. Tiny beacons of light in the encroaching darkness. In that twilight moment, Sarah felt an overwhelming sense of connection to the day, to the rhythm of life, to the stillness that blossomed in the spaces between thoughts. It was here, in this junction of light fading into night, that she recognized a deeper truth, that peace does not come from silence, but from embracing the intricate dance of sound, connection, and being. In wrapping herself in the present, she understood that fulfillment lay not in the finish line, but in the journey itself. The quiet symphony of an evening could echo for as long as she chose to listen. With a gentle exhale, Sarah let go of the waning light of day as she prepared to step into the fresh embrace of the night. The kitchen, now still, held a palpable warmth, a reflection of the moments spent in presence. And she knew, as she turned to walk into the rest of her evening, that each tender act, no matter how routine, stands with beauty when taken one breath at a time. There, within life's rhythms, peace awaited in every unfolding, inviting her to remain forever anchored in the present. In this moment, as you settle into your chair, take a breath, a gentle, deep inhalation that fills your lungs with the present, and then let it go, releasing the weight of the day. Feel the air flow in and out, a soft reminder of the miraculous cycle of life. Okay? Imagine with each inhalation, you are drawing in stillness, and with each exhalation, you are letting go of distraction. Allow yourself to be here, now, fully present. Let the thoughts that flutter through your mind be like leaves drifting on a river, moving effortlessly as you anchor into this moment of awareness. It began on an ordinary afternoon as the sun cast a warm golden hue across the kitchen, dappling the countertops with soft light. The clinking of a spoon against a ceramic bowl echoed gently through the room, punctuating the stillness. Claire stood at the sink, the warm water rushing over her hands, enveloping them in its soothing embrace. This was not just any afternoon. It was a moment carved out of the usual rush of life, an invitation to simply be. As she turned the faucet, she welcomed the flow of water, watching as it danced around her fingers, sizzling and bubbling like tiny crystalline pearls. The steam began to rise, swirling into the air and embracing her skin like a whispered secret. Claire closed her eyes for a brief moment, tuning in to the sensations surrounding her, the soft thrum of the water, the gentle hum of the refrigerator in the background, and the distant chirping of birds outside, heralding the abundance of life. Her hands retrieved the first DIA's slightly chipped plate, familiar in its imperfections. She considered it for a moment, feeling its weight, its history held within the porcelain. In that moment, it transformed from a mere object to a vessel of memories of family dinner. Laughter echoing as everyone gathered around, stories shared over steaming plates of food. Each dish had its tales, and Claire found comfort in honoring them, allowing herself to linger in remembrance before she began to scrub. The sponge glided across the surface, releasing a cascade of soapy bubbles. Each stroke became intentional, a dance between the sponge and her hand, the rhythm, a gentle heartbeat that pulled her deeper into the present moment. The water flowed over the dish like a gentle stream, carrying away remnants of the past, cleansing, refreshing. With every pass of the sponge, Claire felt a softening, her worries lifting with the suds. Drifting away into the sea of the present, time seemed suspended as she lost herself in this simple act. The bubbles sparkled in the light, illuminating her surroundings with a soft, ethereal glow. She watched as they formed, then popped, each burst a reminder of the fleeting nature of moments, the transient beauty of now. Her mind quietly flickered, like the surface of the water, rising and falling with thoughts of the day ahead. The tasks left uncompleted, the conversations yet to happen. But instead of clinging to these thoughts, she envisioned them as clouds passing through a boundless sky here. One moment, it's gone the next. She rinsed the plate, feeling the clarity of the cool water wash over her hands, cooling the warmth of the suds. As it swirled down the drain, she invited her breath to deepen further. Each inhale brought her more into her body, into this sanctuary of her kitchen, immersed in the present. Claire smiled lightly, knowing just how much there was to appreciate a simple task transformed into a mindful ritual with each additional dish. The texture of her experience changed slightly. The rough ceramic of a bowl, the smooth sheen of a glass, the heavy weight of a cast iron skillet. She began to notice the subtle shifts in temperature, how the water warmed her hands. even as her mind chilled against the brisk air drifting in from a slightly open window. Each dish was an invitation to connect more deeply with herself, to witness how everyday life held within it the miraculous dot. As she scrubbed and rinsed, she found herself paying attention not only to the cleanliness of the dishes, but also to the emotions arising in her heart. Each thought was like a petal falling from a tree, landing softly upon her awareness joy as she reflected on the time spent with loved ones, sadness in contemplating distance from a friend, anxiety about upcoming decisions. All of these emotions were met with an open-hearted presence, allowing them to arise and fall without judgment. Apply the water flowing from the faucet fluid and free. Claire paused for a moment, sponge in hand, to feel the water pooling beneath. It shimmered, reflecting 1,000 tiny colors. It grounded her, reminding her of the simple beauty of life existing, flowing, unencumbered. Here, it didn't matter what remained unfinished or what challenges loomed on the horizon. This singular moment, filled with the fragrance of dish soap and the sunlight blazing through the window, was more than sufficient. As she continued her task, her mind quieted, focusing only on the sensations that arose. The ticking of the clock, the movement of the water, the weight of each dish bringing her further into the depths of her being. She felt a sense of lightness emerging within the ordinary rhythm of washing. This relationship with her tasks transformed the kitchen into a refuge, each dish a reminder of the beauty in the mundane. When the final dish was piled on the drying rack, Claire stepped back, feeling a sense of completion envelop her. She turned off the faucet, the sound falling away into silence, replaced now by a soothing stillness that lingered in the air, holding her in a warm embrace. She glanced around the kitchen, the sunlight now casting longer shadows, illuminating the space with a renewing lightness. A soft swell of satisfaction filled her heart, a simple contentment culled from the act of being present fully. Wholly present as Claire stood in the kitchen, basking in the aftermath of a shared moment. With her home, she felt the imprint of stillness wrapping around her like a soft blanket. In this unassuming act, she discovered an abundance of grace hidden in the subtlest of gestures, a reminder that each moment holds the potential for transformation. While the world outside spun in its usual fray, she understood that right here, right now, was an oasis of calm canvas onto which life could unfold, one gentle wash at a time. And in carrying that softness out into the world, she could tread lightly, bending with the flow rather than resisting, embracing each turn with a quiet heart filled with gratitude. In this moment, as you settle into a place of stillness, take a deep breath. Allow the air to fill your lungs, and as you exhale, release any tension held in your body. Feel the weight of your feet resting on the ground, grounding you to this very moment. Let your awareness gently expand, tuning in to the cadence of your breath. The rhythm of your heartbeat, teach, pulse a reminder of the life flowing through you. Imagine yourself surrounded by a gentle light, a warm embrace of presence that invites you to fully arrive here and now. The story unfolds on a quiet afternoon, when the sun filtered through the kitchen window, casting soft shadows and golden pools of light upon the counter. There stood a sink full of dishes, humble gathering of plates, bowls, and utensils, remnants of a nourishing meal shared in laughter and connection. The soft murmur of the world outside, a distant melody of birdsong. The rustle of leaves beckoned for attention, yet here in the warmth of the kitchen, time felt suspended. It's inviting a deeper listening. As you step closer, the sink invites you into the moment. The water slumbers in the basin, cool and still, waiting for the warmth of your touch. With the turn of a faucet, the water begins to flow. The sound, a gentle cascade that dances against the porcelain and metal, each droplet a tiny note in the symphony of now. You pause, observing how the water gleams, the light catching its surface, transforming it into a shimmering ribbon of clarity. With a deliberate intention, you place your hands beneath the stream, feeling the warmth envelop you, a soothing blanket, against the coolness of the sink. The sensation is immediate and grounding, pulling your attention fully into the present. As the water swirls around your fingers, you become aware of the way it glides over your skin, fluid and alive, as if each molecule is whispering soft secrets of tranquility. And in this simple act of washing dishes, there lies an invitation to be fully seen, fully felt. The first dish plate with remnants of a sunny yellow curry slides into your palm. As you begin to scrub, you notice the texture beneath your fingertips. The slight coolness of the ceramic contrasts with the warmth of the water, each stroke a tender caress. The sponge sinks into the curry's remnants, releasing the fragrance of spices infused with love. You breathe it in, the scent, a tender remembrance of shared tastes and stories. Each wipe, each rinse, allows you to let go of yesterday, to release the past with a flick of the wrist, as suds birth bubbles that float away like tender dreams. As you rinse, the water cascades over the plate in a gentle waterfall, the sound harmonizing with the distant chirp of birds outside. With each pass under the running water, you become aware of the threads connecting you to this moment, the steady drip of water, the gentle clink of dishes against each other, the soft rhythm of your breath. You are not just washing dishes, you are washing away thoughts of what lies ahead. You are surrendering to the here and now in the midst of this ordinary task. Your mind may wander, thoughts drifting like clouds across the vast expanse of the sky. You notice the gentle tug of distraction, a reminder of a task unfinished, a conversation left hanging, a worry nudging at the edges of your peace. And instead of following those threads, you choose to breathe, anchoring yourself back to the water. Cue to the touch of the sponge against the dish, to the warmth enveloping your hands. The next dish arrives, a bowl, cute, deep and round, cradling remnants of a sweet berry compote. As you delve into cleaning, you observe how the crimson stains cling stubbornly, a metaphor of distractions that cling to your busy mind. The sponge glides across the surface, encountering resistance. You meet the stains firmly but gently dares. No rush, no need to force them away. The soft agitation of the sponge loosens each mark, and gradually the bowl reveals its clarity beneath. The water swirls around, washing away not just the remnants of a meal, but perhaps the remnants of thoughts that no longer serve you. Each dish holds a memory, a story, laughter shared, conversations woven, moments cherished. And as you wash, care for them, you honor those experiences, knowing that they are part of the tapestry of your life. The sound of water continues to flow, and with it, the gentle rhythm of your heart sinks. You begin to feel an expansiveness within you, a spaciousness that welcomes each thought, each feeling with gentle curiosity. With a final rinse, you place the bowl on the drying rack, letting it stand there, dripping and glistening, a testament to your presence. There is grace in this practice of cleaning, a sensation of clearing not only the physical space around you, but creating a lightness within as well. Now, you encounter a pot, sturdy and strong, with memories of savory stews and shared family, meals layered within its walls. The grip of the sponge against the iron surface feels solid and reassuring, and as you scrub, your mind wanders back to a moment one filled with warmth, laughter, the company of loved ones gathered around. You can almost hear the echoes of voices, the melody of joy interspersed with laughter. The act of washing becomes a ritual of gratitude, an acknowledgement of the nourishment provided, both bodily and spiritually, in the ebb and flow of the water, the mingling of warm suds against cool metal. You are reminded of balance, how life unfolds in cycles of warmth and coolness, ease and difficulty. You allow this understanding to settle within you, savoring the way it feels to embrace both sides of experience without rejection. As the pot becomes clean, its sheen reflects the light of the kitchen, illuminating the space around you, and you pause in your movement. There's a moment of silence, a breath held in reverence for the simplicity of the task. You recognize here that in the act of washing, you are a witness to the present. That here, in the cradle of your kitchen, is where life is happening. You finish with the last dish, the simple act, fully complete, and stand for a moment, simply observing the sink filled with bubbles, the counter lined with gleaming plates. That breathe freshness into the air. A sigh of satisfaction leaves your lips, a release of tension, a letting go of everything outside of this moment as you step back. The soft glow of the afternoon light continues to wrap around you like a warm shawl. There is beauty in this shared space, in the stillness that follows the clearing. You close your eyes briefly and breathe in deeply, filling your heart with the sweetness of an afternoon well spent, of simple acts infused with love. As you gently bring your attention back to the world beyond the kitchen, the insights of presence linger softly within. You carry with you the warmth of water, the scent of curry and berries, and the awareness of how each moment, no matter how small, can become a portal to stillness. In this expansive stillness, you find that each task, each breath, is an invitation to embrace life as it unfolds, nourishing, cleansing, and whole. In this moment, let us pause together. Imagine you are sitting on a gentle stream bank, the soft sounds of water flowing nearby, cradled by nature's embrace. Take a slow, deep breath in, feel the air, fill your lungs, nourishing you, and then let it go, releasing any tension, any weight that you carry. Allow your senses to awaken to the world around you, the rustle of leaves in a soft breeze, the warmth of sunlight filtering through the trees. Here, in this stillness, you are invited to explore the flow of your own experience, to meet each moment with an open heart and a quiet mind. Let us journey together. Imagine, if you will, a clear afternoon in a kitchen filled with sunlight. Sunbeams dance against the walls, creating patches of light that sway gently with the breeze. You'll find yourself standing before a sink half filled with warm, soapy water, surface glistening with tiny bubbles like scattered stars upon a celestial sea. Your hands dip into the water, embracing its warmth, a soothing balm against the world's hurry. As you slide your fingers through the liquid, the sensations awaken. You notice the softness of the sponge as it kisses the plates, cradling them like cherished memories. Each dish holds a story of meals shared, laughter exchanged, and moments savored. As you lift a plate from the water, you hear the soft chiming of porcelain against porcelain, a gentle symphony of sound that resonates in the quiet of the room. The air is fragrant not from cleaning products, but from whatever culinary endeavors they have witnessed. The scent of time lingers faintly, an echo of yesterday's warmth, mingling with the soap's fresh aroma, a reminder of everything that has come before now. As you begin to scrub, feel the texture beneath the sponge's slight grit, the remnants of a meal. Breathe in, breathe out. With each motion, allow your mind to settle on this simple act. Notice how the rhythm of scrubbing mirrors the natural cadence of your breath, each stroke drawing in a sense of calm, each rinse washing away distractions. You focus your attention on the way the water embraces the plate, spiraling around edges like a gentle stream winding through a lush valley. The sound of water leaving the plate, gentle splatters as you rinse, a soft pitter-patter against the sink, like rain kissing the earth. With each plate you release into the drying rack. Allow yourself to watch the droplets cling tantalizingly, then splay out, sparkling in the sunlight. Each drop is a moment, a piece of your experience, hanging suspended in time before it slides away and becomes part of the larger whole. You settle into the rhythm of the task, a soft orchestra of water, sponge, and air inviting mindfulness into every nook and cranny of your being. A thought drifts by. The world is often cluttered, filled with the noise of expectation and urgency. Here, in this moment, all that exists is the simple truth of washing dishes. And as you scrub your way through that stack, you sense how the act becomes a meditational dance of presence. Each movement is imbued with intention, and with each dish, release any tightness that might linger within you. Let it flow down the drain, relieved of judgment and concern, washing away into the unknown. Occasionally, thoughts will drift in a fleeting worry about tomorrow, or a lingering frustration from earlier in the day. When this happens, gently acknowledge them as you would waves lapping at your feet on a shore. And then turn your focus back to the warm water, to the gentle scrubbing of dish after dish. Here and now, in this moment, you can simply be. A fork sparkles in the sunlight as you give it a final rinse, a humble companion to the plates. There's beauty in its simplicity. It's the culinary tools of our lives. Sit, want a reminder of nourishment, connection, and sustenance as you stack the clean dishes. A sense of accomplishment swells within you, not merely from the completion of a chore, but from the presence you have brought to it. You pause for a moment to admire your handiwork. The drying rack is filled with glistening results of your effort, the remnants of your day transformed into something new and fresh. Outside, the song of birds trills joyously, piercing through the gentle bubbling of water. The breeze carries with it whispers of the world beyond, perhaps a child's laughter, a dog's bark, the rustle of trees. You sink into the sounds, acknowledging how they enrich your solitude. These are reminders that life moves on, weaving through layers of existence, even in this moment of domestic tranquility. As you turn off the water, you do so slowly, intending to close that chapter of your day mindfully. The last little drops tumble carelessly towards the drain, reminding you of the fluid nature of everything that is, that was, and that will be. You wipe your hands on a kitchen towel, the fabric soft against your skin, and gaze around your kitchen field. Now, with serenity, an oasis birthed from a simple act. Letting out a subtle sigh of contentment, you stand in the awareness of the moment, a tangible sense of stillness, settling like dust from an old book, finding rest on its pages in a quiet library. You have woven a thread of mindfulness throughout the fabric of your day. This small experience of washing dishes may seem ordinary, yet it is imbued with the extraordinary essence of being fully present. Complexity dissolves into simplicity, and chaos yields to calm. As you take one last look around the quiet space, you may carry this sense of calm with you, an anchor in the gentle ebb and flow of life's currents. The act of washing the dishes may end, but the awareness lingers, a reminder that stillness can be found in the most mundane tasks, turning the ordinary into moments of deep connection and peace. And perhaps, as you move on to the next part of your day, you will carry with you the whisper of the water, the essence of presence, wherever the tides of life may lead. In this moment, as you settle into your space, take a deep breath. Feel the air fill your lungs, expanding gently like a soft wave caressing the shore. As you exhale, release any lingering thoughts or worries, allowing them to slip away like leaves drifting down a tranquil stream. Close your eyes if you wish, and let the world around you fade into a soft murmur, drawing your attention inward. Picture the richness of the present moment, the warmth of the air, the gentle weight of your body supported by the ground beneath you. Here, there is nothing to do, where to go, just the rhythm of your breath guiding you into a stillness that blooms like a flower unfolding. Once upon a time, in a small, sun-dappled kitchen, a woman named Clara found herself standing before the sink, her hands submerged in warm, soapy water. The midday light poured through the window, casting golden beams that danced across the countertop like playful children. Each plate she lifted was a token of a meal shared, a story told, a moment captured in the gentle rhythm of daily life. As she picked up a chipped teacup, she noticed its delicate handle, the thin porcelain warm against her fingertips. She cradled it thoughtfully, allowing the memory of the warm tea she had sipped only hours earlier to wrap around her like a comforting shawl. She felt a moment's pause, a soft whisper of gratitude blooming within her heart. This cup had borne witness to laughter and quiet mornings, to solitude in the company of dear friends. The water swirled around her hands, making soft, gurgling sounds as it embraced the dishes. Each splash was like music, a symphony of ordinary yet beautiful moments. Clara let the sensations wash over, heard the soothing warmth of the water, the gentle soap that bubbled and foamed, the coolness of the ceramic as she rinsed away the remnants of the past meal. She was present in that moment, not hurrying to finish, but immersed in the simple act of cleansing as she moved from cup to plate. She became aware of the rhythmic beat of her heart, steady and calming, like the distant echo of a drum. The world outside the window faded, the bustling noises softened, till all that remained was the unity of her being with this simple task. In and out, the water flowed, and with it, her thoughts began to settle like dust in a sunbeam. Her mind occasionally drifted toward the day's tasks, pulled by the tendrils of to-do lists that loomed larger grocery store run, a phone call to an old friend, a promise to finish a report. But as each thought arose, she saw it like a cloud passing through the vastness of a clear blue sky, acknowledging it without judgment, letting it float on by. She returned her focus gently to the here and now, the warm water welcoming her back into its embrace. Time became elastic. Minutes stretched as she embraced each dish. A fork glistened like a small silver treasure, and she savored the feel of its handle as she scrubbed away the remnants of the last meal. With each stroke, she could feel the stresses of her day dissolve into the mundane, the beauty in its simplicity revealing itself like the face of an old friend. The kitchen was alive with scents, the faint hint of rosemary from the previous night's dinner lingering in the air, mixing with the clean, fresh scent of the soapy bubbles. Clara inhaled deeply, savoring the richness of the moment, the tapestry of smells entwined with her memories. She felt the softness of the sponge in her hand, the gentle pressure against the dish, like a soft caress reminding her, here and now, was the only place she needed to be. As she reached for a wooden spoon, a small flash of sunlight caught its polished surface, reflecting back the warmth of the day. She held it for a moment, tracing the grooves and patterns etched into the wood by countless meals prepared with love. The spoon had stirred many soups and sauces, cradled the ingredients of gatherings and celebrations. It, too, held stories effortlessly woven into the fabric of her day-to-day life. Then she paused to listen. The world outside the kitchen was a soft hum, the wind whispering secrets to the trees. Birds fluttered, their cheerful melodies floating through the air on gentle gusts. A distant dog barked, eliciting a smile as she remembered the joy her own dog brought into her life, the warmth of its fur, the wagging tail that spun joy into every corner of her home. There was no need to chase these thoughts. They drifted alongside her as the water swirled in the sink, creating small whirlpools that sang of connection and calm. Suddenly, a thought arose gently, just as she was washing away the remnants on the dishes. Could she wash away the remnants of her day? Could she let go of frustrations and stress, the trivial worries and burdens that clung like old stains? She found herself an observer, watching this thought flit by like a butterfly in the garden. Beautiful, yet transient. She could let it go. One dish at a time. With renewed focus, she returned to her work. The steady motion of scrubbing and rinsing a meditative dance. The water continued to flow, a steady companion, reflecting her essence, fluid, adaptable, present. She sank deeper into the flow of the moment, aware of the soap bubbles rising, vanishing and marrying into the water like fleeting thoughts, fading into the ether as Clara finished the last plate. The sink clear, she stood back for a moment to observe her handiwork. The dishes gleamed, sparkling and clean, a testament to the mindfulness she had woven into this simple act. Her breath flowed freely, a gentle rhythm echoing through her body. It was a good feeling, lightness, clarity, simplicity. In this little corner of her home, she had carved a sanctuary, a welcoming space that whispered of peace and presence. With the last splash, she turned off the tap. The silence that followed wrapped around her like a warm blanket, still and inviting. She reached for a dish towel, her fingers brushing against its texture, rough and soothing, absorbing the leftover moisture of her work. Each cloth soaked up not just water, but also the quiet satisfaction of being fully present, a surrendering to the flow of life itself. As she placed the towel aside, Clara paused for a heartbeat, closing her eyes and taking a moment to simply be. The kitchen was a reflection of her own inner space, bright, full, and alive with possibility. She felt a sense of fullness bloom in her being, a reminder that the act of caring for her home was also caring for herself. And in this stillness, she understood a deeper truth. It was not in the completion of tasks that joy was found, but rather in the act of embodying presence within the task itself. Each moment, no matter how mundane, could glimpse the extraordinary if she allowed herself to be fully immersed, engaged, and grateful as you gently transition back into the world. Carry with you the essence of that kitchen, the warmth of the water, the rhythm of your breath, the softness of stillness. Remember that each moment holds the potential for beauty, for connection. Like Clara at her sink, you can find the sacredness in the ordinary, allowing the whisper of presence to guide you through all that lies ahead. Breathe deeply once more, feeling the grounding energy of this moment, and know that peace resides within you, always ready to be embraced. As you settle into this moment, take a deep breath. Inhale slowly through your nose, allowing your lungs to expand fully. And exhale gently through your mouth, letting the day's worries drift away like clouds across an endless sky. Feel the sensation of the air as it enters and leaves your body, as if you are participating in a gentle dance. Let your shoulders soften, your neck release its tension, and your heart open to the simple beauty that exists in this fleeting moment. Here, in the space of stillness, we can embrace the ordinary as extraordinary and find tranquility in the rhythm of life. In a small, sunlit kitchen, the day began not with a rush, but with a quiet unfolding. The golden light filtered softly through the window, casting playful shadows on the countertop. A sink full of dishes awaited, each one a tiny world unto itself. Small plates with remnants of breakfast, cups that held remnants of warm tea, and silverware that reflected the shimmering dawn. As she approached the sink, she felt the coolness of the ceramic tiles beneath her feet, grounding her as she stood poised at the threshold of this daily ritual. With each step, she invited herself into the heart of the moment, beginning to appreciate the simple task ahead. Her hands, warm and calloused from years of creating meals and memories, hovered over the soapy water, the fragrance of fresh dish soap gently wafting upward, mingling with the scent of the morning. She turned on the tap, listening as the water danced into the basin, the sound of it cascading like a gentle waterfall, soothing in its rhythm. There was a small thrill in watching the water swirl and bubble, as if each droplet were an opportunity for mindfulness, an invitation to be completely present. With a mindful breath, she dipped her hands into the warmth, feeling the satin smoothness of the bubbles as they formed. Each bubble held light, refracting into tiny rainbows that played across the walls, and, for a moment, she became one with their joy. As she began to wash, she took her time, embracing the sensations, the slickness of the plates, the gentle resistance of the utensils, and the satisfying weight of the cups. Her mind wandered like a leaf on a stream, drifting to memories of laughter around the table, of conversations that flowed as freely as the river outside her window. With each item she handled, she whispered a small thanks of gratitude for the nourishment they provided, the hands that made meals, the moments they celebrated together. Her thoughts began to settle. Thoughts of yesterday mingling with fleeting worries about tomorrow. Yet, as the water enveloped her hands, she felt the quiet pull back into the now, into the rhythm of scrubbing and rinsing. The sponge glided across the surface of a plate, and in that motion, she observed the gentle tension between dirt and cleanliness, chaos and order. She surrendered to the simplicity of it all, letting the water wash away not just the grime, but the burdens that seemed so heavy just moments before. Shifting her focus with each new plate, she noticed the glisten as the water cascaded off, revealing the understated elegance of ceramic and glass. It was a reminder that even in the act of cleaning, there is beauty of clarity that emerges from the mundane. She breathed in the steamy air and let her mind rest, absorbing the warmth around her, feeling it seep into her skin. A soft caress from the day. The room remained quiet, save for the rhythmic sound of water and the occasional chirp from the birds outside, welcoming the dawn. Time began to dissolve into the simplicity of the act itself, that creative dance between water, soap, and the everyday things that inhabited her kitchen. As she turned to the next item, a silver spoon, smudged from its recent use, she placed it in her palm, pondering its history in familial gatherings, in quiet mornings alone. It was a small object, but it held stories, a legacy in its shine. She rubbed her thumb along its cool surface, and in that moment, the universe seemed to expand and contract to encompass just her, the spoon, and the soft echo of the world around her. Here I am, she whispered gently to herself, in this moment, right now. And with that acknowledgement, she let go of needing to rush. The spoons would sit in the drain until they dried. The plates would wait until the next meal. Hay was here, embodying presence and purpose. Each item became an invitation to be aware, to breathe into the now as the last dish emerged from the sink. She paused, looking at the soap suds, glistening in the waning sunlight. They reflected a myriad of shimmering colors, like fairy lights in a darkened room, tiny wonders to behold. With the final rinse, she set this plate on the drying rack. Brow furrowed in focus, her heart stirred with contentment. Looking around the kitchen, she felt a swell of appreciation for the space she had filled with life and love, a sanctuary that bore witness to growth, to practice, to learning in the everyday. She breathed deeply once more, allowing her heart to cradle the stillness of this moment and honor it with a quiet reverence. With newfound clarity, she wiped her hands dry, casting her gaze upon the now empty sink. There was no clutter, just a promise of what was to come, each day beginning anew with its own unique gifts. What joy it was to participate in this cycle, to revel in the unremarkable yet profound task of living fully, tenderly tethered to each moment in this still space. She slowly turned toward the window and truly noticed the world outside. For the first time that morning, trees swayed gently in the breeze, and petals danced from their branches. The sun warmed her face, pouring light into her soul, and she smiled softly, nurtured by the sight. Every breath taken, every second spent, a reminder that life flowed on. And she was a part of this great, unfolding tapestry, an ever-changing masterpiece that was both fragile and resilient. As you take a moment to reflect upon this simple story of washing dishes, may you too find beauty in the ordinary, a gentle reminder of the sanctity that lies in presence. Life is a series of moments woven together, sometimes messy, often magnificent. In recognizing the poetry of each breath, each thought, and each action, we can cultivate a space of peace within, a quiet sanctuary that endures through the ebb and flow of our days. Remember, always, to find joy in the act of simply being, and let the dance of water and light guide you home to yourself. In this moment, as you settle into your seat, gently close your eyes if it feels comfortable, or soften your gaze upon a spot in the room. Take a deep breath in, allowing the air to fill your lungs, expanding your belly like a soft balloon, and then slowly release it, feeling the weight of the day beginning to dissolve. Inhale again, savoring the crisp sensation of breath, and exhale, letting go of any tension you may be holding. As you draw your awareness inward, allow thoughts to float by like leaves on a stream, acknowledging their presence without judgment. Here, in this space, we invite you to become a witness to life as it unfolds, to embrace the simplicity and profundity of each moment. It was a quiet Saturday morning, the kind that came gently to life, hinting at a day both ordinary and profound. Sunlight spilled through the window, casting warm pools of light on the wooden floor, creating patterns that danced ever so slightly with the breeze. The kitchen, still adorned with the remnants of a simple breakfast, felt like a sanctuary, a space where time could stretch, where stillness could dwell amidst the clamor of life. You moved to the sink, the soft clink of ceramic dishes providing a rhythmic backdrop as you prepare to wash. The water flows crisp and clear, cascading from the faucet like a gentle stream, reflecting the sunlight in a playful shimmer. You pause for a moment, hands hovering over the water, feeling the coolness before it warms to the temperature of your skin. As you submerge the first plate, your fingers embrace its smooth surface. There is a sensation of both solidity and vulnerability, as if the plate holds the stories of countless meals shared. The warm, soapy water envelops your hands, creating a soft barrier against the world. As you scrub, the scent of lemon and apple blossoms mingles, filling the air with a soothing aroma that sparks a nostalgic memory of spring days long past. Each dish becomes a small world as you immerse yourself in the act, lifting a bowl and watching the beads of water race down its curve. The sound of water splashing, the soft clinking of porcelain against porcelain, all form a gentle symphony that draws you deeper into presence. With each circular motion, you discover a deeper level of awareness, not just of the dishes, but of yourself, thoughts silently surfacing, then fading like the bubbles that form and dissolve. Maybe a thought drifts in, an urgent reminder of a task left undone, or a worry about tomorrow begins to bubble to the surface. Instead of pushing it away, you allow it to be, recognizing it as part of the greater rhythm of your mind, like ripples on the surface of a pond, momentary and transient. You bring your attention back to the water, the gentle friction of the sponge against the plate, the warm embrace of the soapy liquid. In this simplicity, you find a subtle invitation to just be as you place the cleaned dishes in a drying rack. You notice a small, delicate vase nestled there, an heirloom passed down through generations, fragile yet unyielding. Your fingers graze its surface, the coolness reminding you of the circular nature of life fragility, embraced by strength. Moments cherished through care. It echoes the stories of laughter and sadness, of gatherings and silences, much like the feelings that quietly settle within your heart. With each new dish, you dedicate this moment, not just to cleansing, but to honoring the meals shared, the friendships forged, the love poured into every moment of connection. You feel the familiar weight of gratitude expand in your chest with every rinse. The water flows freely, a reminder of the ebb and flow of all things. The rhythm envelops you, and you surrender to it, like a leaf caught in the tender caress of a stream. Gradually, you find yourself drawing back mentally into a more expansive awareness. You step away from the dishes, perhaps a bit too soon, but so acutely aware of the stillness echoing around you. The quiet hum of the refrigerator coexists with the faint chirping of birds outside. A celebration of this peaceful morning unfolding as you turn away from the sink and step into the sunlight pouring through the window. You feel its warmth on your skin, a gentle kiss from the universe, a reminder that life in all its simplicity pulses around you. You allow your gaze to drift out the window where trees dance in slow motion, their leaves shimmering in the light breeze. The colors blend harmoniously, greens kissed with gold, revealing the beauty of the present moment. The awareness of your surroundings begins to expand further, how the air feels as it brushes past your cheeks, how the shadows waltz across the floor, reminding you that the day is both bright and dim, filled with contrasts. Such is the nature of life. You breathe, yet again, allowing your heart to fill with the gentle rhythm of existence. Grateful, you stand for a moment longer, absorbing the vibrant life outside, feeling the echo of warmth in your chest that radiates outward. Every breath seems to say, here I am. With intention, you decide to step forward, leaving the dishes behind confidently, no longer a task on the to-do list, but a part of the living tapestry of the day. With each stride, you carry the warmth of the sunlight and the serenity of the moment, feeling deeply rooted in this very experience. In the midst of our lives, the ordinary can emerge as extraordinary when we open ourselves to presence. Like the simple act of washing dishes, moments can cradle the weight of reflection, renewal, and gratitude. In letting go of the incessant urges to rush or worry, we invite peace into our hearts. As you return to the rhythm of your day, carry this gentle awareness with you, a reminder that each moment, no matter how seemingly mundane, is a sacred opportunity to step into life, to embrace, and to simply be. In a world that often rushes by, take a moment to pause. Allow your breath to flow softly, like a gentle river meandering through a quiet grove. Feel the weight of the chair beneath you, the warmth of your body enveloping you, and the air filling with a sense of life, just as it is. Close your eyes if it feels right, and let the sensations wash over you, each breath a reminder that you are here now. In this stillness, allow yourself to drift into a story that gently unfolds like the petals of a blooming flower, inviting you to join in the present moment. One balmy afternoon, the sky was stretched in hues of cobalt and cotton. A curious stillness settled over a little house at the edge of town. As the sun began its lazy descent, a few soft clouds played hide and seek with its golden rays. Inside, Emma stood at the kitchen sink, her hands submerged in warm, soapy water. The familiar scent of eucalyptus dish soap enveloped her like a comforting hug as she picked up a plate of simple, unremarkable white dish. She paused for a moment. Here it was, just a plate, yet the story within it resonated deeply. She could feel the cool, smooth surface against her palms, the faintest of textures where the glaze had worn lightly over the years. Each swirl of her sponge brought forth quiet musings of past meals, laughter echoing around the dining table, and the intimate conversations shared over breakfast. The soft splashes of water murmured around her, harmonizing with the rhythmic sound of the sponge gliding against porcelain. With each stroke, Emma felt a gentle anchoring. Her thoughts became less tangled. The swirling chaos of her day faded away. She was fully here in the realm of the mundane, where profound moments often hide in plain sight. She rinsed the plate under the cool stream, watching the droplets dance like tiny diamonds, sparkling as they slipped and fell back into the waiting basin. What a sight to behold! These simple droplets, some heavy and slow, others light and playful. Perhaps each drop was emblematic of a thought or feeling, cascading off the plate, each one valid, worthy of attention before returning to the surface. The warmth of the water was soothing, easing the tension in her hands as she moved to the next dish bowl this time. Also marked with memories of meals shared, but with a slightly raised rim that caught the light differently, showcasing its own character. The gentle sound of water embraced her ears, creating a soft symphony that blended with the distant laughter of children playing outside. Outside, the sun dimmed slowly, and a whisper of wind teased the edges of the trees. Emma turned her head towards the window, and in that glance, there was a moment of connection between her world and the one outside, between her breath and the rhythm of nature. She could hear the rustle of leaves, their whispers underscoring the quietude of the moment. Perhaps the heart of the universe beat in time with her own slow. Steady, unwavering, with intention, she turned back to the dishes. The warm water streamed over her hands, draping her in an embrace of warmth. She allowed her gaze to soften on the fabric of the dish towel hanging nearby, its colorful pattern bright against the sun's fading light. Maybe she would dry the dishes and place them neatly back on the shelf. Coy, but for now, she continued to wash them, fully immersed in this evolving practice of presence. A thought flitted through her mind today had been hectic, a whirlwind of tasks that pulled her in every direction. Yet, here, at the sink, she encountered stillness. Each dish became a canvas for her attention, each task a chance to cultivate mindfulness. She felt the heat rise to her cheeks as a small smile hovered at the edge of her lips. Was this simply washing dishes, or was it something deeper, a return to herself? Her mind shifted as she took up a glass, its surface cool and smooth against her fingertips. She thought about fragility, how the glass, despite its strength, could shatter easily, just like the moments when her own resolve felt delicate. She moved thoughtfully, delicately aware of her breath as she cleaned the glass, feeling the gentle pull of her heart in tune with its vulnerability as she set it down to rinse. The water splashed lightly, capturing fleeting moments of joy and sorrow, trapped within its transparent walls. Each bubble that formed and burst was a reminder of impermanence. She transitioned seamlessly to the next item, a heavy pot, worn yet sturdy from years of use. It carried a weight, not just in its material, but in the countless meals it had prepared. The handle felt familiar and strong in her hands, a reminder of resilience. She operated in a steady rhythm, scrub, rinse, set down. Her senses absorbed the sensations of the warm water, the soft bristles of the sponge, and the fragrant air. Her mind began to ease into a meditative state, her thoughts like birds gently soaring with the whisper of the breeze. She noticed the swell of gratitude creeping in for this quiet moment. Her small Katina sanctuary filled with such ordinary magic. Outside the window, Tina first raindrops began to fall, each drop singing a delicate note against the ground. Emma paused, the sounds intertwining with a rush of water in the sink, creating a gentle harmony of existence. She felt a pulsar heartbeat of connection between her everyday chores and the beauty unfolding outside. How lovely it was, this dance of raindrops, cascading in unpredictable patterns, reminding her of life's uncertainties. With each new drop, the rhythm of the rain played a symphony, pitter-patter, softening the world around her, washing the earth like she washed the dishes. Its droplet was a reminder to embrace the flow of life. They pooled on the windowsill, glistening before taking the leap into the unknown, falling gracefully. Emma found herself reveling in this simple reality, watching as nature now joined her in this moment of clarity. As she finished up the last dish, she noticed how the light had shifted. The room was now cloaked in hues of twilight, casting shadows that danced gently across the walls. She wiped her hands on the towel and allowed herself to breathe, feeling settled in the afterglow of her own mindfulness practice. The dishes stood clean and arranged, quiet tribute to her moment of presence. And with that, she stepped back, releasing the lingering thoughts that sought to pull her in a dozen directions. Instead, she embraced the stillness of profound peace, painting itself in this cozy kitchen echoing in the tranquility of a raindroplet symphony. As the last light of day faded and the rain played its soothing melody, Emma recognized that within the quiet of the ordinary lay the extraordinary. Each moment spent in presence felt like an invitation to dance with life's sometimes clear, always beautiful. In surrendering to the now, she found her way back home, her heart aglow with the warmth of connection, ready to embrace whatever was next with open arms and a still mind. In the quiet stillness of a late afternoon, the sun's golden light spills softly through the curtains. Take a moment to pause. Breathe in deeply, feeling the cool air fill your lungs, and let it out slowly, allowing any tensions to drift away with each exhale. Imagine the day's hurried moments slowly sinking into the background, like leaves floating gently down a tranquil stream. Allow yourself to settle into the present, each heartbeat, each breath anchoring you in this very moment. Here, within the embrace of stillness, we invite ourselves to accompany a simple task, one that whispers profound truths if we choose to listen. The kitchen was aglow with the warm light of late afternoon, casting gentle shadows on the tiled floor. Emilie stood before a sink filled with the remnants of a simple lunch, the dishes piled high like an unspoken to-do list. And yet, as she gazed at the glistening plates and colorful bowls, a soft smile emerged, tinged with gratitude for the meal. Shared dot with the water running, she watched as the clear stream danced and sparkled, reflecting tiny rainbows as it cascaded into the basin. The sound of water was both soothing and rhythmic, a gentle reminder of nature's constants that continued on, unaffected by the rush of the day. Each droplet was a note in the symphony of the presenta, cadence of simplicity that invited her to step fully into this moment. She rolled up her sleeves and placed her hands into the warm water, feeling its enveloping embrace. It wrapped around her limbs like a loving hug, coaxing her to acknowledge the sensations of the here and now. The temperature was just right, warmed by the sun that had poured its light into the space. It's a reminder of all the warmth and joy life can encompass. As she took the first plate, she noticed the texture beneath her fingers' smooth surface, memory-laden from laughter and conversations shared over meals past. With each swipe of the sponge, there was an opportunity to clear away not just the remnants of food, but the remnants of the day. Each scrub became a gentle release of thoughts, of worries for tomorrow. She rinsed the plate, observing the water pooling, then cascading away, a tiny whirlpool, ebbing and flowing in the sink. For a moment, she lost herself in the sight of it, the way the water spiraled and faded, taking with it the remnants of her rushing mind. They cycle away, leaving behind clarity. Then came the sound, the quiet splash of the water as she dropped a plate into the rack, the gentle clink of the ceramic, the soft murmurs of the sponge gliding across the surface, all blended into a tapestry of sound that filled the silence. Each note intermingled with the quiet hum of her thoughts, a delicate interplay of sound and sensation in which Emilie found an unrushed presence. She continued this sacred ritual of washing a dance of hands in water. Each item became a new opportunity for connection. A vibrant red bowl, gifted by her mother, reminded her of the family gatherings that had once filled the house with warmth and laughter. The worn, chipped mug she cradled in her hands bore witness to countless mornings of solitude, sips of coffee fueling her dreams. As she washed, she began to notice her mind wandering, a usual occurrence that she gently countered with an anchor of awareness. The swirl of thoughts, plans, regrets, to-do lists dissipated as she brought her focus back to the warmth of the water gliding over her skin. The aroma of the soap, subtly floral and calming. She reminded herself that it was okay for thoughts to drift in and out like clouds passing in the sky, observed without judgment, allowed to be dot with each rinsed dish. There was a sense of release. The simple act of caring for these objects became a metaphor for her own life. The way the dishes shifted through grime, gradually restoring their shine, echoed the way we sometimes find ourselves cloaked in distractions, anxieties, and the residue of the day. As she took a deep breath, imagining the air filling her chest and then flowing out, she embraced the notion that moments of clarity could arise from the mundane if only she chose to linger in them. Emilie turned towards the window as she washed. The last item, a small knife, its blade reflecting back the light of the setting sun. The world outside unfolded before her. The golden leaves on trees dancing in the soft breeze, the laughter of children playing in the distance. A profound stillness enveloped her as she felt a deep connection to the world beyond her kitchen, reminder of life's rhythm, continuous and steadfast. She paused and allowed herself to simply be, to watch, to breathe, to listen. The awareness of the moment wrapped around her like a soft blanket, warm and protective. Here she was, in the thick of her everyday life, immersed in the miracle of being present. The water continued to flow, gurgling as it moved toward the drain, leaving the sink an oasis of cleanliness and calm. And as she took that final breath, she realized that this moment of routine had transformed into something sacred. The act of washing dishes had unfolded into a meditation on presence, interconnectedness, and the beauty of embracing the ordinary. As Emilie dried her hands on a soft, well-worn towel, she understood that even the simplest of acts can lead to deeper insights, a reflection of life's ebb and flow. It's a reminder to savor each moment as it comes. The dishes now clean, the kitchen filled with the embrace of evening light. She felt grounded and at peace, a fleeting connection that would carry her gently through the rest of her day. Each ordinary moment holds the potential for mindfulness, waiting patiently for us to notice and appreciate its quiet beauty, just as water bids us to pay attention to its gentle ripple. Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath in, feeling the cool air fill your lungs. Then gently let it glide out, carrying with it any tension you may be holding. In this fast-paced world, allow yourself to arrive in the present moment. Feel the weight of your body where it rests, the sensations of contact with the ground beneath you, a sturdy embrace. The busyness of thoughts and concerns can wait. For now, gently softening into the background, let the rhythm of your breath anchor you, one inhalation and exhalation at a time. Life unfolds in each moment. Today, we shall take a journey through the ordinary, weaving mindfulness into the fabric of simplicity. In a quiet kitchen, where sunlight filters softly through the window, casting golden patterns upon the wooden counter, a woman named Anna finds herself preparing for the day. The world outside hums with the subtle sounds of morning birds chirping, leaves rustling in a light breeze, and the gentle whir of a lawnmower a few houses down. Each sound wraps around her, an invisible thread connecting her to the rhythm of life outside. Yet she remains firmly rooted in her own small oasis. As she approaches the sink, she turns the tap, and the water begins to flow. A soft gurgling echoing through the still air. Anna watches as the clear liquid fills the bowl with a soothing murmur, the surface rippling ever so slightly, creating tiny waves that lap against the ceramic edge. She lets the sound envelop her, a lullaby of water welcoming her into the present. She brings forth a plate, its surface gleaming under the soft embrace of sunlight. It carries the remnants of a shared meal, simple breakfast of scrambled eggs and toast, perhaps a hint of laughter still lingering in the air. With a mindful hand, she dips the plate into the warm, soapy water. The sensation of the bubbles bursts like soft whispers against her skin, a playful invitation to engage. Just the act of washing simple chores transformed into a meditative dance, punctuated by the rhythm of her breath, with each stroke of the sponge, gentle scrubbing sound, a comforting caress She allows her thoughts to drift like the foam that rises and dances away. There is a quiet contemplation here. The past fades softly, and the future blurs at the edges. All that exists is the present, the plate before her, the water flowing, the soft sound of her breath. She notices how the sponge absorbs the soapy suds, distilling the essence of the moment into a fragrant, nourishing experience. Feelings of gratitude rise unbidden, a warm glow spreading through her chest as she reflects on the nourishment the meal provided, the laughter shared around the table. Each item washed becomes a vessel of memory, a reminder of connection and love. As the plate emerges from the water, clear and bright, she sets it aside, watching the small streams of water cascade off the edges, falling like tiny rainbows into the depths of the sink. The rhythm of cleaning continues, each dish a new opportunity for presence. A bowl, a fork, a cup. Each enters and exits the warm embrace of the water in a sanctuary of attention. Anna leans closer, inhaling the clean and subtle scent of soap, mingling with the warmth of the water, a fragrant symphony in her mind's eye. She imagines the sweetness of a moment to sunset shared, hands entwined. As the world fades into dusk, as she washes, she becomes acutely aware of the sensations playing out, the smoothness of glass, the textured ridges of a cup. She lets each object speak to her. The gentle swish of the water sings to her heart, urging her to stay, to be fully anchored in this simple act. Thoughts flicker like candle flames, and she acknowledges them softly, letting them bow out without judgment, like leaves gently falling from a tree in autumn. A lingering sigh escapes her lips as she places the last dish on the drying rack. Each item a testament to the serene dance of acceptance and presence, leaving behind no rush or worry. She takes a step back, allowing her gaze to traverse the clean expanse of her kitchen. Here, in this small space where she often feels such chaos, she also finds peace. And in that moment, a profound understanding arises, subtle yet clear. The simplicity of being present, of truly engaging with what is, releases her from the burdens of haste. There are no great truths unveiled in the washing of dishes, yet inside this quiet ritual, she unearths a treasure rich, unfurling awareness that all moments, even the mundane, glimmer with the potential of profound beauty. Turning off the tap, she watches the final droplets retreat down the drain, remnants of a cleansing both physical and metaphoric. With a gentle smile, she acknowledges her life as it is, a series of moments woven together, each thread as important as the last. Having embraced this flow of life with love and care, she invites the stillness to settle within her, a quiet companion that will walk with her through her day. As Anna steps away from the sink and into the broader strokes of her life beyond the kitchen, she carries with her the essence of presence. No longer a mere chore, the act of washing dishes has become a doorway into mindfulness, a reminder that even in the simplest of tasks, there lies a profound opportunity for connection to oneself, to others, to the world. In this gentle space of stillness, a quiet invitation remains that life, in all its complexities, could be met with an open heart, one dish, one breath at a time. As you settle into this moment, take a deep breath in, filling your lungs with the air that surrounds you, and exhale gently, releasing any thoughts or tensions that may precede this time of stillness. Allow your awareness to soften, as if you are stepping into a quiet, sunlit room. You are here, now. The world outside can be left at the door as you become aware of your body in space, seated or supported by the earth beneath you. Notice how the air feels against your skin, the rhythm of your heartbeat, and the settling of your mind. With each breath, relax into the embrace of the present moment. In a small kitchen, modest and warm, a single light bulb hangs low, casting a soft, golden glow over the worn wooden countertop. The dishes are stacked beside the sink, remnants of a meal shared. A gentle hum of the refrigerator, like a lullaby, fills the air, and a quietness descends. This is where Eleanor finds herself, blessed with the hour of solitude and invitation to mindfulness, wrapped in the simplicity of washing dishes. She rolls her sleeves up, the fabric brushing against her forearms as she turns on the tap. Water tumbles forth, a cool cascade that dances against the porcelain white of the sink. As the water flows, it carves out a space, and Eleanor takes a moment to relish this sound, the gentle patter of droplets, a promise of renewal. With each rise and fall of the liquid, she feels a pulse, a heartbeat in rhythm with her own. Eleanor reaches for a plate, surface still glistening with traces of the last meal of vibrant, herbal pasta adorned with sun-kissed tomatoes. She picks it up, feeling its weight in her palm, cool and solid. She runs her fingers over the rim, sensing the smoothness, the craftsmanship embedded within its form. The water spills and catches the light as it flows, the droplets hanging, suspended like tiny jewels. This moment, she thinks, is just as it is. And with an exhale, she immerses the plate into the bowl of warm, soapy water. The bubbles rise up, soft and playful, inviting her to linger a while. As she scrubs with delicate swirls of her sponge, as she notices the scent of lemon and cedar mix in the air, a gentle reminder of home, of warmth and care. With every circular motion, she notices the resistance of the grime slipping away, much like thoughts that tend to clutter the mind. She allows herself to be present, fully immersed in the rhythm of the task. The world outside fades away. It is just her, the water, the dish, and the moment that stretches like an unbroken string. The gentle splash of water, the softness of the sponge against the ceramic, becomes the music of her solitude, grounding her. She pauses to feel the warmth of the water, the softness of the foam caressing her skin. Each sound, each sensation unfolds delicately, inviting her deeper into the experience. As she moves to the next plate, a slight drizzle of suds drips into the sink, a small, joyful arc that vanishes almost instantly. In that moment, Eleanor realizes how often we rush through tasks, anticipating completion rather than fully engaging with the now. But here, washing this plate, she discovers that each moment can be a sacred experience. Each dish is a new opportunity for presence. And then, quite unexpectedly, she hears a faint chirping from outside. The sun is beginning to set, a soft, warm light filtering through the window. She glances briefly to catch a glimpse of the robins, gathering on the fence, serenading one another with sweet, lilting melodies. The world sings softly, and she returns her attention to the plate, her heart swelling with gratitude. As the rhythm deepens, Eleanor begins to notice thoughts that arise, thoughts of her day, her worries, her hopes. They come and go like clouds, passing across the sky. And without judgment, she lets them float by, observing the fleeting nature of each one. There is power in this space, in acknowledging them and allowing them to drift. Another plate, another moment. The weight shifts in her hand, the texture changes under her fingers, and yet the practice remains the same. Breathe in, breathe out. Each stroke of the sponge is an invitation to be gentle with herself, to turn towards what is right in front of her, to embrace the present with kindness. She smiles softly, feeling the warmth of the suds. It is a reminder that simplicity can weave deep contentment. A little time passes, her breath settling into a calm rhythm, and she finds herself smiling gently at the beauty in these ordinary moments that often slip through the cracks of a busy life. Soon, she moves to rinse, the sound of the clean water echoing like a soft murmur around her. And in this act, she prepares to let go of the remnants that no longer serve her. The dishes now gleam beneath the bright light, each one a testament to a moment witnessed, every surface a canvas washed clean. With each towel dry, She acknowledges the way the softness absorbs the lingering droplets, the satisfaction of completion gently curling through her. Stepping back, she observes the glistening array now resting on the countertop, a quiet emblem of her presence. Eleanor takes a cleansing breath, the air filling her lungs with a mix of warmth and clarity. She notices how this simple act has brought her a sense of serenity, stillness, and a connection to everything that flows in and out of her life. In this hour of stillness, she recognizes how habitual it is to seek peace beyond the everyday chase leading to time lost in worries or the plans we hold for tomorrow. Yet, here she stands at the sink, where the water carries both the burdens and blessings of her day, presenting an uncomplicated choice to be here. Now, as she turns off the tap and wipes her hands on a towel, Eleanor glances back at the still water pooling in the sink mirror, reflecting not just the light, but the essence of the moment. The dishes are done, but the mindfulness remains. Then these small, simple actions, she has touched the heart of being alive. And so, she steps away from the kitchen, carrying with her the quiet truth that stillness can be found anywhere, if only we choose to linger a little longer, to wash our days in presence and awareness. In the quiet realm of the everyday, there exists a profound beauty waiting to be discovered. As you settle into this moment, invite your breath to flow gently, like the soft whisper of wind through leaves. Allow your shoulders to drop, your heart to open, and your mind to quiet. As you breathe in, notice the air filling your lungs, a simple reminder of being here right now. The world, with all its noise and rush, fades into a gentle hum. Center your awareness on this breath, on the gentle rise and fall of your body, welcoming the unfolding story of presence that is about to envelop you in a sun-drenched kitchen. The morning light casts delicate patterns, like brushstrokes of golden paint across the countertops. The sound of water running in the sink harmonized with the distant trill of birds outside, their melodies weaving through open windows. It was the start of a new day, yet this moment felt like a quiet island in a sea of busy thoughts and anxious plans. A woman stood at the sink, immersed in the ritual of washing dishes. The soapy water danced beneath her fingertips, the warm bubbles rising and bursting in miniature fountains of joy. Each dish, a story brought to life. The chipped mug, from her grandmother, smooth and familiar. The plate that held the laughter-filled memories of dinner shared with friends. She picked up each item with reverence, a moment of reflection woven into the fabric of her daily responsibilities. As she began with the first dish, a simple glass, she immersed herself in the act of cleansing. The glide of the sponge caressed its surface, releasing tiny beads of water that sparkled in the sunlight like fleeting memories. She could feel the warmth of the water against her skin, the contrast between the cool air of the room and the gentle heat rising from the sudsy water. With each stroke of the sponge, she felt a slow unraveling of tension, every movement a deliberate dance of mindfulness. The world around her faded even further. Not a single thought from the outside seemed to matter. There were only the dishes and the delicate sensations of connection water slipping through her fingers. Soap's soft scent enveloping her like a long-forgotten embrace. Time lost its grip, guiding her deeper into presence as the rhythm of washing became a mantra. Each dish a step on a path toward clarity. With every rinse, she let go of worry, letting the warm water wash over the glass, sending cascading droplets splashing against the sink's silver bottom. It was a delicate music, punctuated by the faint sounds of the bustling world beyond her kitchen child, laughing somewhere, sirens in the distance, a car engine thrumming as it drove past. All remained there, yet here she was, fully enveloped in the sacredness of an ordinary task. Occasionally her thoughts would drift like a leaf on water, but she didn't chase them. Instead, She allowed them to float freely, acknowledging their presence without judgment. The thoughts were simply clouds passing overhead, sometimes light and fluffy, sometimes dark and toiling, but with each blink, they drifted away, illuminating the vastness of her empty mind as she focused on the gentle rhythm of the sponge. The dishes continued to pile up, yet they transformed into fragments of a larger mosaic, patches of light and shadow on her countertop, the ceramic bowl holding remnants of last night's cereal, the silverware intricately intertwined like a family story told in spoons and forks. As she rinsed each piece, she whispered blessings of gratitude, thankfulness for the food that had nourished them, for the laughter that had echoed in the kitchen. Halfway through her task, a moment of stillness enveloped her. She paused, allowing the water to run over her hands, her gaze falling upon a single droplet that hung precariously from the edge of the faucet. It shimmered like a precious gem, catching the light before it finally surrendered to gravity, falling into the basin below with a soft, barely there plink. In that moment, she understood. This was life, each drop a precious second, each moment fleeting and beautiful. The kitchen, warm and bright, wrapped around her like a soft quilt, a sanctuary made from the mundane. She lost herself in the gentle flow of water, the sense of purpose grounding her every thought. Washing the dishes became an act of love, not just for the objects before her, but also for herself. She began to notice the tension in her shoulders ebbing away, like leaves carried on the breeze, surrendering to the pull of gravity. When she reached for the last pot, a heavy cast iron vessel used for hearty soups, she felt its weight, both a physical burden and a reminder of the nourishments shared. The soapy water held reflections of her, distorted and softened, much like the way she often viewed her own life, filled with judgment and comparison. Yet, when she softened her gaze, she could see beauty beneath the surface imperfections. With each moment spent at the sink, she began to unravel her own thoughts, noticing how they intertwine with the act of dishwashing. The way she imposed rigid expectations upon herself, the need to hurry, the desire for everything to be perfect. They were but reflections, much like the water she held in her hands, fluid, ever-changing, and treasuring both the passiveness of flow and the assertiveness of holding. As she finished rinsing the last dish, she felt a deep contentment wash over her. The kitchen gleamed, each dish a testament to her presence, a celebration of time well spent. Stepping back, she admired her work, her heart swelling with a quiet pride, one cultivated not from the act itself, but from the journey to presence, the mindfulness that arose from the simplest of tasks. As the last remnants of bubbles slipped down the drain, she took a moment to breathe, inhaling deeply, savoring the memory of the warmth of water and the softness of the sponge against her skin. She wiped her hands clean on a fresh dishcloth, sinking into a moment marked by that gentle awareness, the understanding that each task could be transformed into a moment of mindfulness and peace, if only she allowed it. In this ordinary act of washing dishes, she discovered the extraordinary. Here, within the simple embrace of water and soap, she found a path to quietude nestled between the echoes of stillness and the vibrancy of being. As you carry this moment with you, remember that the promise of presence is always awaiting you, shimmering like a single drop of water, beautiful and clear, alive in the now. Let this awareness flow through the day ahead, reminding you to return to the rhythms of life, embracing each moment with the tenderness of a soothing breath. As you find this moment to pause, breathe in deeply. Allow your chest to rise, holding that breath gently for a moment, and then let it go. Feeling the air glide out of your lungs like a soft breeze, caressing the leaves of a tree. Let your body relax into the space around you, feeling the support of the ground beneath you. With each breath, begin to notice the sensations, the coolness of air touching your skin, the sound of life quietly weaving through the atmosphere. Perhaps a distant bird singing, a soft rustling of leaves dancing in the wind. In this moment, you are invited to be fully here, present, and aware. As we journey into the simple yet profound act of washing dishes, imagine standing at the edge of a sink. The warm sunlight streaming through the kitchen window, casting delicate patterns on the floor. The world outside is alive with sounds of child's laughter echoing from a nearby yard, the rhythm of cars passing by, the faint rustle of trees swaying gently in the breeze. Yet here, in this glimmering space, all that exists is the charming clutter of your kitchen. You gather the dishes, plates used in joyful gathering, mugs cradled in hands for comforting sips of tea, silverware that tells tales of meals shared. The dishes receive your attention one by one, each one a small universe holding remnants of connection. As you place them in warm, soapy water, the bubbles rise and dance joyfully. Tiny orbs of light reflecting your spirit as your hands glide into the water. Feel the heat envelop you, a gentle embrace warming your skin. The texture of the sponge is soft yet firm, a reminder of the balance between gentleness and strength. You lift a dish, noticing the residual scents of the meal. Tang of garlic, the sweetness of roasted vegetables like echoes lingering in the air. As you begin to wash, the rhythmic motion captures your attention, drawing you further into the present moment. Feel the water cascading down, glistening on the porcelain, a soft waterfall nourishing each curve and corner. The sensation of suds between your fingers becomes a meditation, each swirl a slow exploration of the now. In this simple act, you find yourself, the mind quieting, thoughts meandering like clouds in a vast sky, drifting without urgency. The sound of water splashing is soothing, a gentle symphony that synchronizes with the beating of your heart. With each stroke of the sponge, you let go of the to-do lists, the worries tethered to tomorrow. It is as if the dishes are absorbing your presence. Every drop of water a testament to surrender, releasing of the unnecessary through the very act of cleansing. As you progress, the dishes start to stack up, each one a mosaic of care. You notice how your breath flows in harmony with the rhythm of your hands, inhaling and exhaling as you rinse and scrub. Atia, the warmth envelops you further, infusing the kitchen with an air of sacredness. You see the reflections in the water. You see the essence of simplicity, how life unfolds in the mundane, lost in this peaceful cycle. You allow your mind to wander, for thoughts have a way of visiting without invitation. They flit around like fireflies in a dusk, ephemeral and bright. Can yet, here in the sanctuary of the sink, you acknowledge each thought as it arises, neither clinging nor pushing it away. Instead, you watch as it dances across your consciousness, bringing with it whispers of memories, laughter, shared, love given. Moments of stillness. You wipe your hands on the towel, sensing the soft fabric against your fingertips, and turn to look out the window. The garden beyond is a canvas of vibrant oranges and greens, blossoms swaying gently as if nodding in approval of the light that flows through them. You take a moment to breathe it in, the richness of color and texture reminding you that life, like the dishes, is about the connections that linger long after the moments have passed. With each dish you wash, a sense of clarity emerges. Perhaps, just as these dishes were once used to nourish relationships, there exists a connection in every breath you take, a thread tied to the present moment, woven into the fabric of your being. You feel an inner stillness settling within, grounding you, allowing you to absorb this peaceful rhythm. You finish washing the last dish, a humble cup that cradled warmth during quiet evenings of reflection. Every droplet exuding from its curved surface sparkles as if thanking you for your care. You place it on the drying rack, step back, and take in the array of cleaned dishes glimmering in the light. Each one a testament to the process you just embraced In this gentle unfolding of the ordinary, you have danced with presence, twirling amidst the bubbles and warmth. The world outside remains constant, yet within you, a stillness arises. A reminder that the mundane can be sacred, the simple act of washing dishes a means of reconnection, both to self and to life itself. As you step back from the sink, carry this tranquility with you, letting it echo in each breath as you navigate the world beyond, holding the whisper of water within your heart. In the soft embrace of a midsummer afternoon, let us take a moment to settle into the stillness that surrounds us. Gently close your eyes if it feels comfortable. Feel the air against your skin, the gentle whisper of the world outside weaving through your awareness. Breathe in, savoring the coolness that fills your lungs, and breathe out, releasing any tension that does not serve you in this moment. With each breath, allow yourself to be fully present, observer of the heartbeat of life, a witness to this fleeting moment that is yours and yours alone. On a quiet Saturday morning, with the sun peeking through the gauzy curtains, Sarah stood before the sink, a collection of dishes piled high like small monuments to the week that had just passed. Each plate, cup, and fork held traces of meals shared with laughter, conversations, spilling over the rim of teacups, and crumbs from impromptu gatherings. She touched the tepid water, feeling it seep into her skin, soft and inviting, and in that moment, she chose to immerse herself in this simple act of washing the dishes. As the warm water dripped from her hands, Sarah reached for the first plate. It was a dinner plate, white and speckled with flecks of color from last night's veggie stir-fry. She placed it in the water and watched bubbles rise, swirling around it like tiny dancers caught in a delicate waltz. The gentle sound of water splashing against the porcelain was like a soft percussion, a calming rhythm that echoed through the kitchen. With a soft sponge in her hand, she began to scrub the plate, working in small, circular motions. The texture of the sponge was rough, yet yielding, a paradox that mirrored life itself. Thoughts began to drift through her mind, the to-do list for the day of whispering tide, then gently receding as she focused instead on the plate before her. In this moment, there was no past, no future, only the here and now, encapsulated in the soft, wet embrace of the water. She let the warmth seep into her bones, feeling the steam lift around her like a fog, wrapping her in a cocoon of comfort. Each stroke of the sponge became a meditation, a mantra of presence as she tuned into the sensations, the warmth of the water, the scent of the dish soap, a hint of lemon bright against the weight of the day. As she set the clean plate aside, Sarah took a moment to notice the sunlight streaming through the window, casting playful shadows on the counter. It painted a shifting tapestry of light, a reminder of the passage of time that was both fleeting and eternal. She inhaled deeply, tuning herself to the air's subtle fragrance mingling with the scent of freshly washed dishes, a symphony of simplicity. Next, she turned her attention to a glass, its base dusty from being long forgotten in the corner of the cupboard. Grasping it with care, she felt its coolness against her palm, the smooth surface reflecting her own gaze as she began to rinse it. The water glided over the glass, taking with it remnants of yesterday's use, a cleansing that mirrored the act of releasing burdens she carried within. Thoughts arose of family, of work, of dreams yet unfulfilled, but rather than chasing them, she gently acknowledged their presence. "Ah, there you are," she whispered to herself. "Thank you for visiting, but for now, I am here with my glass." And as she filled it with water once more, she noticed how its clarity echoed a moment of focus, how a simple vessel could hold both liquid and purpose. A light breeze drifted through the open window, rustling the leaves outside, a reminder of life unfolding beyond the kitchen. Sarah found solace in the interplay of movement and stillness, and how washing dishes could bind her to both the domestic and the wild. As she continued to scrub and rinse, the motions became a flow, a rhythm integrating her presence into the very core of the moment. The gentle tinkle of forks as they clinked against each other resounded like distant bells, blending into the background of a world alive with possibility. In her mind's eye, the kitchen transformed into a sanctuary space of gathering, not just of utensils, but of hopes, dreams, and the tender embrace of gratitude. As the final cup slipped out of her hands and into the warm water, she paused once more to appreciate the array of sparkling clean dishes lined up like soldiers, standing proud in the sunlight, glimmering reflections of her labor. With a heart full of satisfaction, she smiled softly, reminded that within the flurry of life, there is always a return to the simple things where peace can be found. Outside, a bird began to sing, its sweet notes weaving through the air, inviting her to listen, to pause, to simply be. When she finished rinsing the last dish, she felt lightness in her heart, a veil lifted, a quiet revelation emerging from the depths of the mundane. In that moment, washing dishes amounted to more than just a chore. It was a practice of tenderness toward herself and the life she was cultivating around her. One moment at a time. Slowly, Sarah dried her hands on a soft dish towel, savoring the warmth still lingering in her fingertips. In that small kitchen, she had unwittingly gathered a wealth of insights, all woven into the fabric of washing dishes. The world outside continued its busy path, yet here she found a tranquil pool of presence, a reminder of the beauty nestled within the everyday. As she turned to face the day ahead, she carried with her the quiet rhythm of water, the simple joy of being fully alive in this moment, letting go of all that does not serve her. She released the sudsy remnants into the rinsing flow. In this moment, as you take a breath, let the world fade softly into the background. Feel the air, cool and refreshing, as it enters your lungs, filling you up with everything you need right now. Allow your shoulders to relax, letting any weight they carry melt away like the last hints of sunlight at dusk. Embrace the gentle stillness surrounding you, where each sound offers an invitation to be present. In this space, life unfolds in its simplest form, ready to be savored. Imagine, if you will, the kitchen, a familiar sanctuary where moments linger like fragrant spices in the air. The day is drawing to a close, the soft light waning, casting a golden glow upon the countertops. Here, in this inviting space, a list of dishes waits patiently in the sink, each one holding the remnants of a day well lived. A teacup with lipstick marks, a plate scattered with crumbs. It's a mixing bowl that once held the ingredients of joyful creation. With a deep, cleansing breath, you step toward the sink, feeling the coolness of the tile beneath your feet, a gentle reminder of the earth supporting you. You turn on the water, and as the stream cascades, listen to its soothing melody. Each droplet creates a little splash, a soft symphony that weaves through the fabric of your thoughts. Quieting the mind, you reach for a damp sponge, its softness a contrast to the smooth ceramic of the dishes. As you press it into the warm water, a gentle warmth envelops your hands, the suds billowing like clouds in a clear sky. With each stroke across the plate, feel the tension of the day washing away, each bubble rising, a tiny moment of release. The scent of dish soap, fresh and clean, dances around you, grounding you in the here and now. Notice the texture of the plate beneath your fingers as you scrub, the coolness surrendering to the warmth of your touch. You can hear the rhythmic swish of the water, almost like a heartbeat, connecting you to everything in this moment. The tasks ahead seem to dissolve, and you begin to appreciate the beauty in this simple act of cleaning. It is not merely a chore. It is a ritual of care for the dishes, for yourself, for all who share this space, as your mind begins to wander. Intrigue arrives like the light filtering through the window. Thoughts flow like the water about tomorrow's tasks, lingering. Moments from the day each one a drop in an ever-flowing river. You let them come, observing without judgment, like autumn leaves swirling gently in the wind. And then you return to the sensation of the sponge gliding against the ceramic, the skin of your hands awakening to the task at hand. The warmth of the water coats your wrists, a gentle embrace for the senses. You think of the hands that crafted, the food served on these dishes, the laughter shared over meals, the moments of connection these inanimate objects have witnessed. Each plate is a vessel of memory, a story etched into its surface. You reflect on the gratitude that intertwines with every moment, the laughter of a loved one, the comfort of shared meals, the creation of nourishment. You rinse the sponge and watch as the water carries the soap away, glistening as it moves each droplet, a tiny miracle falling into the depths of the sink. It feels as if the burdens of the day, too, are washing down the drain, leaving behind only clarity. A few bubbles cling to the sides of the sink, shimmering like jewels, and for a moment you are captivated by their delicate dance. Could it be that within these mundane moments lies a fleeting joy, waiting to be noticed? As the last traces of soap exit the plate, you begin to stack the clean dishes on the drying rack. Each clink and clatter bonds the sequence of movement-town orchestra of everyday life. You may notice how the sounds form a rhythm that parallels your breath, inhaling with each dish placed gently down, exhaling as you step back to admire your work. In this intentional pause, everything is laid out before you, dishes glowing in their fresh state, droplets of water glistening in the fading light. You feel the warmth of presence wrap around you like a cozy blanket on a chilly evening. The kitchen feels alive in this moment, a heartbeat echoing within the space. You find a place to sit, watching the transformation unfolding before your eyes. Here, in this sacred stillness, you allow yourself to be fully enveloped by the present. No past, no future, just this moment. The sweet aroma of your surroundings mingles with the soft whispers of water still dripping from the dishes. It's creating a tapestry of tranquility that settles into your heart. And in that stillness and insight emerges a gentle reminder that life, in all its complexities, often reappears in the simplest of acts. There is beauty in the act of washing dishes, for in it resides a return to the now, a communion with existence itself. The universe unfolds in the suds, in the warmth of water on skin, and in the rhythm of your breath. It is a dance, a meditation, a celebration of being. As you rise, you feel lighter, a newfound appreciation blooming within. The world outside may be teeming with noise, but within you is an oasis of calm, cultivated through gentle awareness. The dishes are done, yet the experience lingers, an invitation to find stillness in every moment of life. Whether grand or small, as you step away from the kitchen, let the awareness from this experience accompany you into the world beyond these walls. Each step you take forward carries with it the essence of stillness, ready to embrace the unpredictability of life. A fraction of time remains yours to fill with presence, patience, and the soft, knowing awareness that even in the simplest of tasks, we can touch the vast, unending beauty of existence. Be gentle with yourself, and remember that in this ever-flowing river of experience, every moment is an opportunity to return home to the heart of now. As you settle into this moment, take a gentle breath in, feeling the cool air fill your lungs, and slowly release it, letting go of any tension lingering in your body. Notice the surface beneath you, how it holds you as you are, steady and present. Allow your gaze to soften and your mind to slow. Here, we invite the world just as it is, filled with the simple and profound magic of being alive. Allow this time to unfold, and let yourself be guided into the everyday beauty waiting for you in stillness. There exists a small kitchen, cozy and bright, where the warm mid-morning sun spills through the window, casting a gentle golden hue over everything it touches. In this sanctuary, the world beyond fades softly into the background, a distant murmur drowned out by the quiet rhythm of life within. Samantha stands at the sink, her hands submerged in warm, soapy water. The dishes glisten like little treasures, awaiting her attention. She turns on the tap and listens to the quiet rush of water cascading down into the basin, mingling with the gentle clinks of glass and ceramic. Each sound feels like a note in an unhurried melody. There is no rush, only the presence of now, as the bubbles rise and gather softly along the edges. Samantha feels the warmth envelop her hands, the suds forming delicate, translucent mounds that burst playfully at her fingertips. A soft sigh escapes her lips, a tiny exhalation of gratitude for this moment. Each dish becomes an invitation to pause, to breathe, to immerse herself fully in the sensation of Clenanga. Simple practice where every motion builds a fragile bridge to the heart of the present. She lifts a mug of deep blue color, patterned with clouds that swirl like thoughts in the mind. She holds it in her palms and recalls the laughter shared over morning coffee, the comforting warmth it once held. She runs her thumb along its rim, feeling the slight roughness of the ceramica, tiny reminder of the beauty found in imperfection. As she begins to wash, the water flows eagerly, slipping around her fingers, a gentle embrace that draws her deeper into the moment. Each stroke of the sponge feels deliberate yet tender, as if the dish itself can feel the care infused in every action. She can hear the soft swish of the sponge against the surface, punctuated by the occasional splash, a beautiful sound like small raindrops against a window. Thoughts flicker through her mind like fireflies on a summer eve. Some glow brightly, demanding attention. Others fade into the background, mere whispers. She acknowledges them, but does not chase them. Instead, she returns her focus to the task at hand, allowing her breath to guide her deeper. Inhale, filling the body. Exhale, softly releasing. Here, within the rhythm of her breath, she finds a sanctuary. The sun's warmth kisses her shoulders as she shifts her weight, swaying gently as she dances with the dishes. Each item that meets her sponge is unique, some smooth and polished, others rough and worn. A large glass jar, once home to homemade jam, glimmers with droplets, and as she cleans, she allows herself to be a vessel for transformation, just as the jar transformed from empty to full. She recalls the sweet, sticky moments of spreading jam onto fresh bread, the laughter of a family gathered, the simplicity of sharing a meal with each passing minute. Her mind unwinds, like the gentle unfurling of a fern in the forest, releasing what no longer serves her. The past melts away like the lingering steam from a cup of tea, and the future remains a mystery tucked within the folds of another day. Here, there is only the present moment, rich and full, alive with possibility. A few moments later, she sets aside the final dish, a tiny teacup decorated with lines like winding paths across a silent landscape. As she places it on the drying rack, an unexpected thought arrives. What if this moment, this simple act of washing and nurturing, held the answers she sought beyond the busyness of life? Samantha stands for a moment, observing the warm light playing upon the dishes. She sees them drying in their quiet elegance, each telling a story of intimacy, connection, and care. She nods, feeling the gentle hum of understanding begin to settle within her. This task, mundane to some, reveals itself as sacred a reflection of her life. This dish, a testament to love, resilience, and memory, as the last drips of water fall. From the rinse, she turns off the tap and wipes her hands on a soft linen towel, feeling the texture beneath her fingertips. The movement brings her back to the present, a gentle reminder of the gift of being alive, of being here, right now. She looks around her kitchen, and beyond the dishes, she sees her world in vivid detail, the sunlight steaming through the window, the picture frames holding smiles of loved ones, the air scented with a hint of fresh herbs from the Windowsill. She feels a burgeoning sense of gratitude, a warmth that expands within her chest, filling her from the inside. In this sanctuary, where time seems to gently stretch and contracts, she realizes that each moment, just like the water in the basin, is a reflection of life itself, fluid, it's transient, and yet so achingly beautiful. There is no rush to move on. The world can wait. In the gentle embrace of this kitchen, Samantha lets everything settle, finding peace in the space between thoughts. It's a quiet that swells and recedes like the waves of the ocean lapping at the shore. She takes a deep breath, and as she exhales, she releases the need for anything more than this moment, this breath, this dance of stillness that holds the universe within it. And so, as you return from this journey into the ordinary made extraordinary, allow yourself to linger in the simplicity of being. Know that, like Samantha in her kitchen, you too can find solace in the rhythm of everyday moments. With each breath, embrace the stillness that surrounds you and carry it gently into the world, allowing the dance of presence to weave seamlessly into the fabric of your life. You are here, and that, dear friend, is enough. Take a moment to settle into your space. Allow your breath to flow naturally in and out, like the gentle waves caressing the shore. Notice the weight of your body against the seat, the texture of the ground beneath your feet, and the delicate dance of any sounds surrounding you. This moment is a gift, soft invitation to sink into the present. In this narrative, let us explore an ordinary experience. It's the kind that often slips through our fingers unnoticed, yet holds the potential to reveal a profound stillness within thee. Day began as any other, the morning sunlight spilling through the window like honey, casting a warm golden hue upon the kitchen tiles. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee lingered in the air, an invitation to awaken gently. As she stood at the sink, hands submerged in warm, soapy water, a sense of calm enveloped her. The simple act of washing dishes became her anchor, drawing her deeper into the heart of the present. The clinking of dishes accompanied the rhythmic motion of her hands. With each plate, each glass, she felt the coolness of porcelain and the slick, foamy texture of the soap. The water glimmered like tiny diamonds as it cascaded over the dishes, tracing a path of clarity, washing away remnants of yesterday's meals. Here in this moment, she focused solely on the task at hand, her mind brushing aside the myriad of thoughts that often cascaded through her day like leaves caught in a whirlwind. As the sponge glided over a stubborn stain, she observed the way the fibers embraced the surface, finding peace in the gentle resistance. It was a dancer hand, the sponge, the dish, all moving together in silent harmony. In this space, there was no hurry, no pressure to be elsewhere or to do something grand. Just the water, the soap, and the mindful presence she cultivated. With each deliberate stroke, the sound of water bubbling quietly filled the room, a soft melody that reminded her of a bubbling brook in a quiet forest. She allowed herself to listen deeply, as if the water had stories to tell. Each note whispered of life, of cycles, of renewal. With every rinse and wipe, the dishes transformed from clutter to clarity, a reflection of the inner landscape she was nurturing within. As she reached for a mug, she paused, taking a moment to appreciate the delicate patterns that adorned its surface, the swirling blues and whites that mirrored the endless sky. She held the mug to her heart, feeling its warmth seep into her palm, imagining the countless cups of tea shared with friends, the quiet mornings spent in solitude, savoring the moment with a book in hand. How many stories had unfolded over this simple vessel? There was a reverence here, a gratitude for the everyday, the ordinary that, when observed deeply, blossomed into something extraordinary. Thoughts may have danced at the edge of her awareness, tasks yet unfinished, conversations left unsaid, but she gently nudged them aside like drifting leaves. In this sacred space, those thoughts were neither friends nor foes. They were simply clouds passing through the expanse of her mind. She focused on her breath, feeling it rise and fall like the tide, anchoring her to the here and now. A soft smile crept onto her lips as she recalled her son's laughter from the living room. The lightness of his joy washed over her like the sun breaking through a canopy of trees. In that moment, she felt an urge to carry this warmth into their shared space, to infuse the day with presence, but not through grand gestures, rather through the simple act of being there fully, wholeheartedly. Finishing the last dish, she turned off the tap, listening to the final trickle of water as it slid down into silence. She dried her hands on a clean towel, feeling the softness against her skin, a reminder of the tenderness inherent in everyday experiences. Resolved in her small task, she stepped away from the sink, embracing a sense of completion as she made her way into the living room. She paused at the threshold, allowing her breath to fill her lungs and expand her heart. The warmth of the sun spilled into the room in golden rays, illuminating her son's face as he sat engrossed in his play. His deep concentration was a sacred moment of presence, and she felt the gentle pull to join him, not with purpose, but with openness. "May I sit with you?" asked softly, and he looked up, his eyes widening with joy. "Yes, look, Mom," as he excitedly showcased his Legos, constructing a fantastical world of towering castles and colorful dragons. She settled next to him, allowing herself to be swept into his imagination. She listened to his words, each phrase a thread weaving their connection tighter. The room filled with his laughter, bubbling like the gentle water that had earlier danced beneath her fingertips. In these moments, she discovered the beauty of shared presence, a living testament to the threads that bind us to one another. With each playful banter and each moment of silence, she felt deeply alive, absorbing the details, the sound of tiny bricks clicking together, the light pouring through the window painting a tapestry of playfulness, and the whispers of love held in the air between them. There was balance here, a quietness born of just being, a reminder that the most extraordinary moments often arise from the depths of the ordinary. As the sun continued its slow descent, casting elongated shadows across the room, their shared laughter began to soften into gentle conversations, into the pauses that spoke volumes without words. The world outside melted away. Time was no longer important. It simply wove into the fabric of their togetherness. Eventually, as evening approached and a soft twilight settled in, she felt the peace from washing the dishes blend seamlessly into the warmth surrounding her, a quiet continuity of presence, of love, of existence. As she prepared dinner, the mundane task of chopping vegetables echoed the earlier rhythm of washing, a reminder that mindfulness could be refuge in every corner of her life, brought forth by the simple act of attending deeply. And so, as the day began to close, she recognized at these moments the soft laughter of her child, the warmth of familiar dishes. The air filled with the aromas of their shared meal were not just parts of life, but, in fact, life itself. It was a quiet gift wrapped in the brilliance of the mundane, urging her to return to this presence again and again. In the depths of everyday experiences lies a profound tranquility, waiting to be uncovered through the gentle embrace of mindful awareness, if only we choose to see it. Close your eyes for a moment, taking a deep, soothing breath. Feel the air fill your lungs, cool and refreshing, as if a gentle breeze is carrying the scent of earth and sky. This is your moment, right here, right now. The world around you, with its bustling demands and endless distractions, fades into the background. Allow yourself to settle into your body, to feel the weight of it on the ground, solid, unyielding, yet utterly supportive. Let each breath guide you further into stillness, as if with every exhale, you are releasing a little more of what does not serve you. Keep breathing. The present moment is a precious gift, waiting patiently to be unwrapped. In a cozy home, sunlight filtered softly through the kitchen window, illuminating the gentle curves of a porcelain sink. The air held a hint of lavender from the essential oil diffuser that quietly hummed in the corner, infusing the space with warmth and calm. Anna stood before the sink, the water running clear and cool over a pile of dishes, a vibrant mosaic of colors from plates, cups, and utensils, each one holding a story of meals shared and laughter echoing across the table. The rhythmic sound of water cascading filled the room, a soothing symphony that danced with the thoughts whirling in Anna's mind. She could feel the softness of the dishcloth in her hands as she lifted the first plate, its surface still warm from the dishes that had come before. She let the moment stretch, pausing to observe the subtle play of light on its glossy finish. There was beauty here, an invitation to be fully present. As she began to wash, bubbles formed like tiny galaxies, each one suspended in its translucent sphere, reflecting light and color. With each circular movement of her hand, she felt the warmth of the water envelop her fingers, a gentle reminder that all was well. The soap, lemon-scented and fresh, released a fragrance that mingled with the air, grounding her further into the simplicity of the task in the quiet of the kitchen. The world outside continued its relentless pace, but Anna was anchored. Thoughts flitted in and out like the foam collecting at the edge of the sink, reminders of to-do lists, obligations, and worries. Yet she allowed them to pass without clinging, like leaves drifting on a stream, each one a part of the flow, yet none able to disrupt the totality of her experience. As she rinsed the plate, the water cascaded down like gentle rain, tiny droplets dancing in the light before slipping back into the depths of the sink. She could feel the cleansing sensation against her fingertips, and in that moment, time expanded, each second stretched into a soft embrace. Anna focused her awareness on the warmth of the water against her skin and the way the sensation mingled with the rhythm of her breath. She noticed how the act of washing dishes transformed from a task to a meditation. The weight of the plate shifted in her hands. The coolness of the metal silverware contrasted against the warmth of the ceramics. Each item came alive in her grasp, a testament to the love that filled her home, the nourishing meals shared with family and friends. It was an act of care for both the dishes and for herself. A soft sound broke the stillness, her child's laughter. Light and bright floated from the other room. Anna smiled at the sound, its joy filling her chest. She allowed herself to picture the child, carefree and vibrant, a small whirlwind of energy and delight. The laughter was an echo of their shared moments, a reminder that within the mundane, extraordinary experiences unfurled every single day. As she paused, allowing her heart to swell with gratitude for the laughter, for the love, and for the simple act in which she was engaged, the water in the sink. Now, a shimmering pool of reflections awaited the next dish, the sacramental bowl, deep and robust, a vessel that held countless meals. As it touched the water, it felt heavy with memories of gatherings, of connection, of nourishment shared. She cradled it, feeling its weight. It's the coolness of the ceramic grounding her further. In this slow motion, Anna noticed her own breath, a natural rhythm that accompanied the gentle swell of thoughts, reflections, and sensations. Every inhale invited clarity, a rush of calm, while each exhale released tension, flowing away like the water swirling down the drain. She became aware of the subtle shifts in her body, the way her shoulders softened, the way her heart quieted and opened, welcoming stillness as Anna moved through the simple flow of the task. She began to realize that it was not just the act of cleaning, but a way of honoring her experiences, her life, and the moments that shaped her. The dishes became vessels communicating gratitude, each scrubbing and rinsing a prayer of acknowledgement for the nourishment of body and spirit. Without urgency or judgment, she continued, allowing the water to steer her thoughts toward the moment's lessons. The routine act of washing dishes was now presenting itself as a reminder to embrace life with intention, to cherish the silence, the laughter, the food shared, and the connection that we often overlook in the rush of living. As Anna completed the last plate, a serene smile graced her lips. The rhythmic sound of water had quieted, and she felt a radiance within her warmth that extended beyond the confines of the kitchen. In this space, she found her pulse aligning with the gentle ebb and flow of life itself, reassuring heartbeat. Constant, yet ever-changing. She reached for the dish towel, its fabric soft against her palm. The act of drying each dish felt like an intimate ritual now, a way to cultivate care, a way to signal the end of an activity that had become more than just chores. The warmth of the clean dishes meant something. Each item she placed neatly on the rack was no longer a mundane task, but an offering, a promise to embrace the next moments that were unfurling with the last item safely tucked away. Anna took a moment to survey the kitchen. The surfaces gleamed softly in the afternoon light, reflecting her effort, her intention, her presence. The kitchen, alive with warmth and care, felt like a sanctuary, a living testament to love and attention. She took a final deep breath, soaking in the scents mingling around her, the lingering aromas of lavender, citrus, and the memory of connection. Standing in the kitchen, Anna now carried with her a quiet sense of peace. She understood that the simplicity of washing dishes had unfolded infinite layers of experience, paving the way for awareness and gratitude. In the unassuming act of cleaning, she had touched the essence of her own being. As the world continued to swirl around her, she knew she could return to this essence at any moment reachable through the breath, the sound, the water's embrace. She stepped away from the sink, nourished and renewed, ready to embrace the next moment as it came, fully present in the unfolding of life. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at the edge of a quiet pond, late afternoon sun casting a warm, golden hue upon the water surface. The gentle rustle of leaves above you whispers secrets of the day. Take a deep breath in, allowing the air to fill your lungs, and then slowly release it, letting each breath mark the rhythm of your being. Inhale peace, exhale tension. As you settle into this lovely moment, may you find a comfort in a space of stillness, where each sound and sensation invites you to dive deeper into your own experience. In a humble kitchen, a woman named Clara stood at the sink, surrounded by the comforting hum of everyday life. The light streamed through the window, casting playful reflections against the dishes piled high before her. Each plate and cup held remnants of a meal shared with loved ones, a tapestry of laughter just moments before, now dried and waiting for renewal. She turned on the tap, the warm water pouring forth with a soft, cradling sound, washing over her hands like a gentle embrace. The steam rose, intertwining with the sunlight, creating a shimmering veil around her. Clara noticed the way the water danced and glimmered, droplets cascading like tiny jewels with each dish she picked up. Clara found herself enveloped in the sensations surrounding her. The smooth ceramic of the plates, cool to the touch, the textured surfaces of glasses, rough around the edges where they had been lovingly used, As she placed the first plate in the water, she felt the warmth seep into her skin, grounding her, reminding her of the life that intertwined with these simple objects. She reached for the sponge. It surfaced dense and porous and began to glide it over the plate. The rhythmic motion took on a meditative quality, each stroke a gentle reminder of presence. The soap bubbles swirled and expanded, floating effortlessly, catching the light before they burst in a playful splatter. Clara marveled at their evanescence, recognizing the beauty in transient moments, much like her own thoughts, drifting in and out of focus as she rinsed the plate. The sound of water splashing was a joyful symphony, the notes echoing in the quiet space of her kitchen. The water formed rivulets that caressed her fingers, cool yet soothing. With every drop that fell back into the sink, she felt as if she was washing away the busyness of her mind, letting thoughts ebb and flow like the gentle currents of a stream, softly gliding away into stillness. Her mind initially wandered, flitting from one thought to another, to tasks that lay ahead, the weight of obligations, the gentle reminder to remain present. Yet, as Clara returned her focus to the dish in hand, she could feel an anchor in the present moment, a soft place to settle. The act of washing became less a chore and more a sanctuary, a practice of awareness cultivated diligently amidst the clamor of daily life. Occasionally, she paused, allowing herself to observe the flow of water and the transformations happening before her eyes. The once soiled plates emerged pristine under her caring touch, a metaphor for something deeper. With each cleanse, she felt herself letting go of hidden worries, unspoken fears, and unexamined anxieties. They dissipated like steam rising from the hot water released into the air. Lightening her spirit, the warmth of the sun on her back became a gentle companion, its rays bridging the gap between the outside world and her inner landscape. Clara felt a sense of belonging, anchored to the home she created, a haven forged through simple acts of love and care. She recognized how each dish mirrored an experience, a meal infused with connection, a moment of joy shared. As she continued to wash, she turned her attention to her breathing. The rhythm flowed with the water, a gentle in and out, creating a natural cadence that blended with the life happening around her. The distant chirping of birds floated in, a reminder of the vibrant world beyond her kitchen, weaving a sense of harmony with her inner stillness. Time stretched and curled, unhurried. As she finally placed the last dish on the drying rack, a composed collection of glowing ceramics glistening amidst the soft light. For a moment, she stood still, hands dripping gently, relishing the calm that enveloped her, heart full of gratitude for the ordinary yet profound experience she had just participated in the kitchen. With the lingering scent of soap and warmth, Clara took a breath, blinked slowly, and allowed herself to simply be. She felt the grace of the moment, the ordinary made extraordinary through her presence, her awareness. Each sensation reverberated in her. The warmth of the sun, the earthy scent of soapy water, the faint echo of life beyond these walls. As Clara wiped her hands on a towel, kitchen transformed into a sacred space, no longer merely a room filled with dishes, but now a canvas of memories, sensations, and attentive moments. She smiled softly at the simple beauty of what had been created there today, at the art of mindfulness inherent in washing dishes, and the profound peace found in surrendering to the present. In that stillness, she knew, was the essence of life itself, an unfurling where every breath, every dish, and every moment unfolded into something rich and quietly magnificent. As you settle into this moment, allow yourself to take a deep breath, slowly inhaling through your nose, feeling the cool air fill your lungs, then gently releasing it through your mouth. Notice the weight of your body, perhaps against a chair, or the ground beneath your feet. The world outside may be bustling, Yet here, in this sacred moment, you are invited to simply be. Your thoughts may flit like the wings of a bird. Serve them without clinging, without judgment. Close your eyes if it feels comfortable, okay? And let the warmth of your breath become your anchor, drawing you gently into the present. Together, let us journey into a story, an ordinary experience imbued with extraordinary presence. It was autumn in the small town of Willow Creek. The golden light of early afternoon cascaded through the branches of the oak trees, casting dapples of warm color onto the sidewalk. Philip, a middle-aged man with a gentle demeanor, found himself wandering through the park, enveloped in the stillness that only a cool autumn day could bring. Leaves rustled above, a soft whispering of nature, drawing him deeper into its aid. Embraced with each step, Philip felt the crunch of fallen leaves underfoot, tender whispers of rustling life that had known the seasons before. He paused, his attention drawn to a single leaf, bright crimson against the muted browns and golds that surrounded it. It hung precariously at the edge of a branch, fluttering delicately, caught in a dance with the wind. The world fell away. The bustling streets, the hum of distant cars, all that remained was this moment, and a leaf. A testament to Impermanence. As he watched, he noticed how the leaf swayed effortlessly, surrendering to the gentleness of the breeze. Philip inhaled, filling his lungs with the crisp air that smelled of earth and change. And as he exhaled, he felt a subtle tenderness toward the leaf's journey. In its own way, the leaf was no different than he, clinging lightly to the branch, a momentary fixture in an ever-changing world. Time slipped away as he simply stood there, the sun warming his back, the wind brushing against his cheeks like a lover's caress. Thoughts drifted in and out what he had for breakfast, the emails. He ought to answer yet. They were like shadows dancing on the periphery of his mind. He welcomed them with curiosity, nodding to their existence without judgment. Inviting the spaciousness in the here and now, a gentle flutter disturbed the tranquil air. The leaf, once so firmly attached, quivered and finally let go, spiraling gracefully downward. Philip marveled at its descent, a slow, unhurried journey, never rushing, never fearing the fall. Twirled and glided, caught in the currents of the air, embodying poise and grace. Philip followed its flight with rapt attention, wondering at the freedom it represented as the leaf landed softly on the ground. A soft sigh escaped his lips, a release of something he hadn't known he was holding. The ground welcomed the leaf, a bed of brown earth and vibrant colors that surrounded it, as if to say, "You are home now." In this moment, Philip felt the recognition of loss and arrival, a poignant reminder that every ending is, in its own way, a beginning. With his senses fully alive, he turned his head and listened to the laughter of children playing nearby, their joy echoing across the park. The high-pitched squeals mingled with the rustle of more leaves overhead, creating a symphony of life, a celebration of existence. Filled with warmth, he took another deep breath, feeling the rhythm of life pulse through him. This was the essence of being, he realized, the bliss found within the simple act of witnessing, no need to chase after dreams or solidify moments. Everything was here, alive, interconnected. He allowed himself a small smile of gratitude for the leaves, the children, the cool breeze that whispered tales of moments past. He found a bench, its surface worn with time, yet sturdy and inviting. Sitting down, he closed his eyes again, allowing the sensations to wash over him. The sun was warm on his face. He could feel the earth solid beneath him, anchoring him in the present. And, as he sat in stillness, new thoughts emerged, the conversations he had been avoiding, the connections, longing to be rekindled. He met them softly, like old friends, acknowledging their presence without judgment, with the sounds of playful laughter dancing in his ears, and the vivid tapestry of fallen leaves surrounding him, Philip began to let go not just of thoughts, but of the weight of expectation he had carried. He was free here, in this moment, a leaf upon the breath of the wind, as the afternoon sun began to dip lower in the sky. Soft shadows stretching across the ground, he felt an urge to rise. He took one last gaze at the crimson leaf, which now lay among its golden companions, a part of the collective beauty of the earth. In its stillness, he found a reflection of his own heart, a gentle reminder of his place in the tapestry of life. He stood, feeling the warmth linger in his body, and walked back through the park, each step a meditation, each breath a reminder of the present moment. The world buzzed around him, but within his heart there resided a newfound serenity, a quiet understanding that life would continue to unfold in unexpected ways. In the quiet aftermath of this experience, Philip carried with him a piece of the autumn's song, a tender reminder that in every moment there exists both departure and arrival. The act of simply being rooted like the trees and light as the leaves invited to calm into the chaos of life. And as he returned to his daily rhythms, his heart whispered a simple truth. There is peace in embracing the flow, in surrendering to the gentle currents of existence. Each breath, each moment, a chance to reconnect with the stillness that resides within.